गुरुर् साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। कुदरत का एक उसूल है, जो बांटोगे वही तुम्हारे पास बेहिसाब आएगा, फिर वो दौलत हो, इज्जत हो, नफरत हो या बेपनाह मोहब्बत। कल हम सभी ने श्री जेजेटी विश्वविद्यालय के प्रांगण से, जो कि आपका अपना विश्वविद्यालय है, जिसके चेयरपर्सन डॉक्टर विनोद सर, प्रेसिडेंट बालकिशन सर और हमारे प्रो चेयरपर्सन डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर ब्रिगेडियर सुजीत पाबला जी, और हमारे साथ हमारे सीईओ प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर चरणजीत कौर पाबला जी हमारे साथ जुड़ी हुई हैं। और कल आपकी रजिस्ट्रार मैडम डॉक्टर मधु गुप्ता जी थी, आपने उनका भी अभिनंदन किया, उनको भी सुना, मुझे भी सुना, राजेंद्र निकुम जी को भी सुना। आज उसी कड़ी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए हम अपने कुलगीत, जो कि श्री जेजेटी यूनिवर्सिटी का कुलगीत है, इसके साथ कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करेंगे। और आप सबसे निवेदन है कि अपने अपने स्थान से खड़े हो जाएं, क्योंकि बात वही पुरानी है कि कुलगीत हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी का है, हमारे विश्वविद्यालय का है, तो हमारा मान है और हमें उसका सम्मान करना चाहिए।
जागृत विवेक हो बुद्धि शुभम का है, ज्ञान कर्म संदेश भक्ति शिक्षा का अभ्यास है। यही लक्ष्य लेकर चलता श्री जी जी दी, श्री जी जी दी, श्री जी जी दी। विश्वविद्यालय विश्वविद्यालय श्री जी जी दी विश्वविद्यालय। सबको शिक्षा में शिक्षा से कोई वंचित हो, स्वाभिमान साहस सेवा सब में संचित हो। शिक्षा का उद्देश्य सीमित हो आर्थिक अर्थों में, छात्र बने निर्मित हो। रचनात्मक सपनों की सत्य करें हम वह कार्यालय, यही लक्ष्य लेकर चलता श्री जे जे टी, श्री जे जे टी, श्री जे जे टी। विश्वविद्यालय विश्वविद्यालय श्री जे जे टी विश्वविद्यालय। चिंतन में स्वाधीन कर्म में छात्र शोध में हम प्रयोगशाला है वह विज्ञान जहाँ हो विकसित। ज्ञान बने जय जय की गति मानव सेवा में, भारतवर्ष हमें से हो संपूर्ण विश्व में जाते। परम आधुनिकता के हम संताने, यही लक्ष्य लेकर चलता श्री जी जी जी, श्री जी जी जी, श्री जी जी जी। विश्वविद्यालय विश्वविद्यालय श्री जेजेटी विश्वविद्यालय।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप सभी ने हमारा साथ दिया और विश्वविद्यालय के नाम के साथ हम आगे बढ़ेंगे। आज के कार्यक्रम में आप सबसे पहले सुनेंगे डॉक्टर नीलकमल मिश्रा जी, जो इसी विश्वविद्यालय के रिसर्च साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी के से जुड़े हुए हैं और उनका विषय है न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी वर्चुअल टीचिंग चैलेंजेस फॉर टीचर्स एंड स्टूडेंट्स। इसके बाद डॉक्टर अंजू सिंह जो मुंबई से हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगी, डीन ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस हैं, वो हमारे साथ अपने विचार साझा करेंगी। दूसरे सेशन में आप डॉक्टर अनिरुद्ध भौमिक अर्बामेंट यूनिवर्सिटी इथियोपिया अफ्रीका से वो जुड़ेंगे और आप उनको सुनेंगे अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड चैलेंजेस ऑफ द एक्साइटिंग ट्रेंड्स ऑफ वर्चुअल एजुकेशन। इसी क्रम में आगे बढ़ते हुए डॉक्टर विवेकानंद जैन जी को, जो कि सेंट्रल लाइब्रेरियन BHU हैं, वो आप उन्हें सुनेंगे और उनका विषय रहेगा फ्री ऑनलाइन इंफॉर्मेशन रिसोर्सेज फॉर एकेडमिशियंस। तो वो सभी के लिए फायदेमंद है, बहुत बहुत हम लोगों को जानने को मौका मिलेगा, सुनने को मौका मिलेगा। और इसके बाद करीब 3:20 से लेकर के 3:50 तक आप दो बेहतरीन वक्ताओं को सुनेंगे, प्रोफेसर अनुराग जी और CMGE डॉक्टर जवाहर M, डीन फैकल्टी ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिकल साइंस इन JJTU, उन्होंने अभी ही ज्वाइन किया है। और प्रोफेसर अनुराग जो कि डीन ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी हैं, उनको भी सुनेंगे, जिनका विषय है नेक्स्ट स्टेप इन वर्चुअल आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंसी। तो ये कुल मिलाकर के आज का कार्यक्रम रहेगा। इसके अलावा पूरा का पूरा समय आप सभी जो स्कॉलर्स हैं उनको दिया जाएगा, जिन्होंने आज हमको जो भी अपना प्रेजेंटेशन करना चाहते हैं, आप तैयार रहें और पूरे टाइम हमारे साथ, पूरा जितनी देर तक जुड़ सकते हैं उतनी देर तक हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए, ताकि आज करीब 5:30-6 बजे तक हम प्रेजेंटेशन करवाएंगे। और इसमें लिस्ट जो भी है हमारे पास पहले ही आ चुके थे, यदि आगे भी आते हैं तो हम उनको कंटिन्यूअस बनाए रखेंगे। तो ये हमारा अनुरोध है। इसी के साथ मैं विदा लूंगी क्योंकि अन्य कार्य भी हैं। तो आप सबसे पुनः अनुरोध कि आप डॉक्टर निकुम जी को और हमारी मैडम को भी सुने और उनका साथ दें। थैंक यू। Over to you, Rajendra Nikum sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vandana.
Thank you, sir.
कॉन्फ्रेंस के दूसरे दिन इस प्रथम सत्र में आप सभी का स्वागत। इस सत्र में सबसे पहले स्पीकर के रूप में आपको सभी को मार्गदर्शक के रूप में यहाँ पर हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं आदरणीय प्राध्यापक डॉक्टर नीलकमल मिश्रा जी, जो रिसर्च साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी JJT यूनिवर्सिटी राजस्थान के डीन है। आपका परिचय मैं करवा देता हूँ। नीलकमल मिश्रा जी, जो PhD है, PhD फ्रॉम बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी वाराणसी इन 2001, MSc in botany from DAV College Kanpur, MBA with specialization in human resource management in 2010, MD यूनिवर्सिटी रोहतक। 20 साल का उनका अनुभव रहा है इंडस्ट्रियल और एनवायरमेंटल रिसर्च में। 20 years experience in industrial environmental research, scientist in charge in pollution teaching, pollution testing library। दरअसल काफी उनका अनुभव है, सीनियर रिसर्च फेलो भी रह चुके हैं, फिर चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव भी रह चुके हैं, कंसल्टेंट भी रह चुके हैं, एनवायरमेंटल ऑफिसर भी वो रह चुके हैं। टीचिंग का उनका जो अनुभव है वो 18 साल से ज्यादा है और लगभग 65 नेशनल्स एंड 18 इंटरनेशनल जर्नल्स में पब्लिकेशन और प्रेजेंटेशन का उनका अनुभव रहा है। दरअसल ये उनका बहुत अल्प परिचय है, वो बहुत महान है, बहुत अच्छे मार्गदर्शक है, तो आज हम उनको सुनेंगे। तो क्या डॉक्टर नीलकमल मिश्रा जी, सर आप ज्वाइन हैं? आप सुन रहे हो? हेलो डॉक्टर नीलकमल मिश्रा जी, आप अगर ज्वाइन हुए हैं तो आप प्लीज।
यस सर, यस सर, गुड मॉर्निंग
सर, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग। प्लीज आप हमारे सभी स्कॉलर्स को मार्गदर्शन करें।
गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल ऑफ यू एंड वेलकम टू ऑल इन इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस इन JJT यूनिवर्सिटी ऑर्गेनाइज्ड।
Good morning.
Good morning all of you. Good morning
Mr.
all of you. I hope you have listened a lot of
Good morning.
Good morning,
good
sir.
morning sir. Good
Mr.
morning, good morning, good morning.
स्कॉलर्स को एक और रिक्वेस्ट है, प्लीज।
Good morning, sir.
आप सभी जरूर गुड मॉर्निंग करेंगे, लेकिन चैट में जाकर आप गुड मॉर्निंग कर सकते हैं। ऐसे आप करेंगे तो उनका जो मौलिक मार्गदर्शन है वो उसके लिए कम समय मिलेगा। प्लीज डॉक्टर मिश्रा जी।
Okay.
सर एक्सक्यूज मी सर, शुभांगी मैम का माइक ऑन है, मैम उनको सर उनको बोलिए वो म्यूट करने के लिए।
All very well disciplined person. You please mute your mic and I want to share some things on occasion. However, I got a responsibility to say a few words in front of you. What the new education policy, because so many teachers are worried about what happened, why we need the new education policy again. So many factors we have faced. So I want to just conclude some things कि इसकी जरूरत क्यों पड़ी न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी की। I have just thoroughly studied why we need the share. आपको पीपीटी दिख रही है मेरी?
हाँ दिख रही है सर।
यस यस।
Okay. The one thing I feel why we need the new education policy. I just studied thoroughly. First education policy is introduced in 1968, and then 1985 second policy, and after a long period, 30-35 years ago, we have received a new education policy is 2020. इस न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी की जरूरत क्यों थी? एक सर्वे डेटा आया कि the lot of people are working in want to working in a government sector, but unfortunately only the 1% people, more than 1% people are working in government sector, and 2% people are working in a organized sector, and rest of the 97% people are working in a private sector or self entrepreneurship sectors and other things, and out of 97% people, only 2% people are have some skill work doing. So it means कि हमारी जो पुरानी एजुकेशन पॉलिसी थी, उस एजुकेशन पॉलिसी ने सिर्फ 1% ब्यूरोक्रेट्स डेवलप किए, 2% एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलप किए, और 97% अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट अनएम्प्लॉयड और को डेवलप किया, इसकी तरफ कन्वर्ट करना हमें, तो नीड वी वांट टू चेंज आवर एजुकेशन सिस्टम, और वर्ल्ड के अकॉर्डिंग अपने एजुकेशन सिस्टम को हमें चेंज करना पड़ेगा। इसकी शुरुआत जो है बहुत पहले से शुरू हो गई थी। अगर हिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन की बात करें वर्चुअल एजुकेशन की, वो 1970 में सबसे फर्स्ट शुरू हुआ। CIT, द कमीशन ऑफ इंटरनेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी, एंड 1975-1976 में SIT का गठन हुआ, एंड 10th अगस्त 1979 and 19 इंडिया लॉन्च फर्स्ट टाइम द SLV3 to the encouragement of our Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. She encouraged Satish Dhawan, talk with the Satish Dhawan how to utilize the space science to spread the education in all over the entire part of our country, because India have a mega biodiversity country, geographical condition alag hai, environmental condition alag hai, people are living in so many different conditions. Though how to spread the education in entire part of our country, so that the aims have our Prime Minister led that times Indira Gandhi have started SLV3, and in 1980 the SLV3 have encouraged other programs in INSET 1. Launched the first space satellite through education purpose, and 1C UGC through the satellite for education. UGC have to take a responsibility. You have developed some course curriculum through satellite media, and in 1984 the first countrywide classrooms started. And 1993 is the CEE, Center for Education Councils, and 1995 INSET 1-3 we have again launched the new satellite. First satellite launch in 1980, and again we launched the 1995 INSET 3B, the UTB and UCOMA and RGTU, and 20 September 2014 we have established the EduSet. The EduSet have to play a very important role to spread to the education entire part of our country and rural area and so many things. You all remember in the morning or evening when the DD Doordarshan have started, have a specific time of present a lecture and programs in particular things, EduSet programs, free of cost telecast that times. And 5th September 2005, the EduSet network about spread in 58 university have developed EduSet recording center, EMMRC, and other things. And 2007, the first have faced problems. EduSet after EduSet have a different course curriculum, different program syllabus and other things. So how we have a concise the one syllabus, one course curriculum and other things. So that way purpose the 2007 have NMEICT, and 29th September 2011 have first established the e-content of PG syllabus. 2007 में हमने UG syllabus को किया था, और 2011 में हमने PG syllabus subjects के ऊपर किया, and in 5th October 2011 have Akash, and then 2016 have very important platform provide the each and every teachers, each and every skilled person, each and every learned persons have an open platform, MOOCs and SWIM. You all aware about these things. And after this thing, we face the continue our educationists face problems. If we will not properly train the teacher, so the education not train the proper teacher and train the new education media, so we cannot properly implement the education system through e-learning mode. So they have established new things. In the occasion of Madan Mohan Malviya, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission of Teacher Trainings is inaugurated by the 25th December 2014 in BHU Swatantrata Bhavan, organized by inaugurated by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The national education policy की अगर हम बात करें तो India is lead the country into the 21st century and the 4th industrial revolution. and through the holistic and multidisciplinary education, as described so beautifully in India past, कि education और experiential learning और education दोनों किस तरीके से मैनेज होती है, ये हमारे गुरुकुल पद्धति और संस्कार जो हमारे थे उनमें इस तरीके से इसको जोड़ा गया था कि कैसे वो एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग कर सकता है नेचर के साथ में, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज को कैसे वो यूटिलाइज कर सकता है, कैसे उसकी प्लानिंग कर सकता है. दे आर ऑल प्रैक्टिकल हैपन इन आवर गुरुकुल सिस्टम. So how can we utilize these things, this policy in current scenario, so that way the engineering institutions such as the IITs will move towards the holistic and multidisciplinary education. With the more art and humanity, the students of art and humanity will aims to learn more science and as well as make an effort to incorporate moral vocational subject and soft skill. We don't want to develop such type of a robotic engineer. They have not have a proper human value and have not a proper ethical values. So it is not as per the Indian concept. We want to develop a such type of a learned or technical person, those who have a proper incorporate the human and moral values also. Though the imaginative and flexible curricular structure will enable to creative combinations and discipline for study, and would we offer multiple enter and multiple exist points, thus the removing the currently prevalent rigor to boundary of creating new possibility of lifelong learning. The graduate level, master level, doctorate level education is a large multidisciplinary universities and will be providing a rigorous research-based specialization. Would we also be provide opportunity for multidisciplinary work, including academia, government, and industries. So the role of academia is the most important. Have a follow the develop the rule regulations, industrial plannings, and develop the social structures, economical plannings. We have categorized these things. The higher education, we have discussed the only higher education, not go through the low education because the time shortage. We have discussed the higher education, the holistic and multidisciplinary education in an undergraduate programs with the multiple exist option, where is a bachelor degree can be the 3 or 4 year. The MPhil, Master of Philosophy course is the totally discontinued, and PG programs can be 1 or 2 years. And next new things, the national testing agencies will be conducted the entrance examination for admission of university across the country and a part of the JEE mains and NEETs examinations. The establishment of academic bank of credit and facility to transfer to credit. There is new education policy is a very useful for very friendly for student purpose and for teaching purpose. Have some challenge we face. It is a very beauty of this new education policy. Anytime you have entered the join the course and anytime you leave the course. In the past practice, अगर आपने BSc या BTech में first year second year में join किया और कोर्स बीच में छोड़ दिया तो आपकी डिग्री अधूरी मानी जाती थी. Now the times have a vocational courses, have a first year have a certificate course, second year have a advanced certificate course, third year have a some third year, fourth year have a some advanced degree course. So they have a make a planning and reform the whole education system and syllabus and other things as per that way. Each and every step have a student take entry, and each and every step student take as a exists as per her social demand, as per her financial demand, as per her need. So there is no break for education in her life. Anytime he enter and anytime he exists, that is the beauty of new education policy. And the establishment of academic bank is credit facility transfer or credit. And we have developed the establishment of a credit bank. If you go to foreign and got a degree one year, second year have certificate course or degree course, but you cannot continue in a foreign this degree. You come in India again, come back to India and join this course again. And in the past practice, there is no given any credit. But in the now in new education policy, you got a credit as per your degree you get in a foreign or other place. The setting up a multidisciplinary education and research university as a model of best multidisciplinary education global standards, and establishment of a national resource foundation, an apex body to the to fostering to strong research culture and building research and capacity across the higher education. In the new education policy have an emphasis there is no need for NAC accreditation. They have an emphasis that only the three way. They have recognized the university, any institute and university in a three way. First, the university have a capable to both teaching and research. Second, the university have recognized only the research purpose. And third, the university have recognized only the teaching purpose, have not proper lab facility, have not proper resources. They are not given the permission for doing a research purpose. So the categorization of university is colleges and institution is changed in new education policy. The establishment of Higher Education Council of India, is HECI, to regulate the higher education by preparing the same set of regulation and accreditation of academic standard for private and public institutions, and that HECI have a 4 independent vertical, namely, first is the National Higher Education Regulatory C, the NHERC for the regulation of higher education, expert in medical and legal education, and General Education Council, GEC, have specifically have make a planning and evaluate and monitoring these things to medical and legal education. And second, the Higher Education Grant Council, HEGC, for funding the finding of college and university. How could got a school and college and have finding the fund through governments for fulfilled project and desire in surrounding area? The third, the National Accreditation Council, NAC, and of accreditation for accreditations have just evaluate these things as per the desire, as per the standardized. The institution follow these things or not follow these things. Only they have followed these things and have submitted the reports to government. The HECI was replaced the existing National Council for Teacher Education, NCTE, for Council of Technical Education, AICTE, the government, the University Grant Commission, UGC, phasing out the affiliation system, the university level over the period of 15 years. Only provide the 15-year affiliation. You should develop yourself after 15 years. They have again evaluate your laboratory facility, your teaching facility, your classroom facility, quality. These are all things evaluated by the HECI. Increasing the gross enrollment ratio in a higher education from the current 26.3%, जो हमारा अभी एनरोलमेंट पीरियड है स्कूल के बाद जो कॉलेज में कन्वर्ट होते हैं लोग, वो ये परसेंटेज है 26.3%, अप टू 50% हमें 2030-35 तक इसको ले जाना पड़ेगा, अकॉर्डिंग टू 3.5 crore seats in higher education. So that way we have increased the higher education in in the future in 2030-35. The higher education scenario we have discussed the global level or national level. We have find the greater than 850 universities in India and 35 folded increase in 1947. Only the 35% are universities, 35 universities are available. Now have 850 universities, more than 850 universities. We have increased the 48,000 1,000 colleges, and despite of the higher education under stress. You have a huge amount of university structure, have a institute structure, college structure, and other things. But our higher education is actually feel stress. We have increasing a lot of unemployed person in through the education system. I discussed in previously, the 97% people are graduate or undergraduate condition have face an unemployed condition, because the degree have not fulfilled the desire, fulfill the social demand, have fulfilled the financial demand, or fulfill the knowledge demand as per the our society demanded. So we have these things, GER, the world average 23% के आसपास है, the country of transitions 36.5%, the developed country 54.6%. The India have planning the 50% 50% GER increase in 2030-35. अभी 26 के आसपास जा रहा है. The Asian countries are 22%. The BRIC countries GER, Brazil 47%, Russia 77%, and India 13 to 18%, and 22% above, China 25%. So that the actual overall higher education scenario, how could we have provide a good education system? So that purpose, modern education policy have a undergraduate education stage may have it taking some different changes. The undergraduate changes degree is every subject will be either 3 or 4 year duration, with the multiple exist and options, including the certificate after the passing first year, a diploma after the passing of second year, or bachelor degree after the passing of 3 years or 4 year undergraduate degree programs, preferred with the major, minor, and research project. Have including this programs. And postgraduate education stage, the master degree, a 1 year for 4 year bachelor students, a 2 years degree for 3 years bachelor degree students, and integrated 5-year degree with the focus of higher quality of research in a final year. And the master degree will consist of a strong research components to strengthen the competency in this professional area and to prepare a student for the research degree. Have a focus. Student have a starting since the beginning of the day when किस एरिया में उसको रिसर्च को ले जाना है और कहाँ काम करना है, इस तरीके से research stage, the consisting of pursuing the high quality of research leading to the PhD in any core of subject and multidisciplinary subject or interdisciplinary subject for minimum period of 3 to 4 years. For the full-time and part-time study, respectively, during PhD, they should be undergoes a 8-credit course in teaching, education, and pedagogy of related to this chosen PhD subject. Earlier, 1-year MPhil program is discontinued. The teacher education is the very important topic because the new education policy have challenged to the teacher. How can they have improved these things? By 2023, the minimum qualification of teachers will be 4-year integrated B.Ed degree programs. The emphasis of strengthening and transparency of teacher recruitment process. The government have taken a higher education Ayog commission, and the higher education commission have selected particular qualified people in teaching institution and teaching area. The NCTE is to formulate a new comprehensive national curriculum framework for teacher education in 2021. The NCTE is the frame, the National Professional Standard of Teachers is 2022. These are all framework have already established and have started working as soon earlier in 2020. Major objectives of a new education system, the establishment of new education commissions and establishment of a special education zone to improve the education among the understand the group to and disadvantage of regions, and gender inclusion fund to improving the provide education in female and transgender. This is the first education policy have introduced to helping the people, especially the female candidates and transgender candidates. They have including new education policy, and government provided funding to because this group are increasing the knowledge and take a proper responsibility to proper role, for development of country. The establishment of a National Education Technology Forum. The AICT is converted to the National Education Technology Forum, NETF, is a platform of a facilitate to free exchange of idea and technology users to education. The National Accreditation Center, the Prakash, will be the access the students also have an open platform to each and every student have used this platform through proper way and have got a lot of lecture, lot of information, lot of technical videos and pictures and other things and enhance the knowledge in self manner way. The establishment of new language institutions such as the Indian Institution of Translation and Interpretation and National institutions for Pali language and Persian and Parketic language. These are all three languages have a very important role play, have a very rich language, and have been introduced in our new policy. The establishment of a national missions of mentoring, the national book promotion policy, and national mission for fundamental literacy and numeracy. Increasing the education expenditure from this current scenario 4.6% to 6% GDP at least as earlier. The massive use of technology to education planning and teaching to learning and assessment also. The lifelong learning, the new education policies continue motivate and propose to life learning process. The lifelong learning to research to avoid human beings become a obsolete the society in terms of knowledge, the skill and experience to lead a comfortable life. It is a belief that education and research at any stage of life will give a further maturity and satisfaction of life. The all higher education institution, including college, autonomous, and there will be no affiliated college to be state university and autonomy deciding to curriculum and evaluation. They have own evaluation and they have own credit and system and examining it is a part of who are teaching the subject are responsible for evaluate the examination and department affairs. अभी तक क्या होता था जो टीचर पढ़ा रहा है वो कॉपी चेक नहीं करता था वो इवेलुएट नहीं करता था उसको लेकिन अभी जो करंट न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसीज में वी हैव गॉट ए पावर्स दैट ईच एंड एवरी इंस्टीट्यूट हैव self evaluate and each and every faculty have evaluate her taught students उसको आप खुद पढ़ाइए और खुद इसकी evaluation करिए and that way you have give a proper merit and demerit because after 4 or 5 questions solve के बाद आप उसके career को उसके characters के बारे में उसकी capacity के बारे में you cannot evaluate proper way. But you have a proper teaching the 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and you may particular know what the merit and what the demerit of this particular student and how can we improve. So that way we have properly guide to each and every students in good manner way. In the teaching learning methods, the higher education system, the expected the student faculty ratio is 30:1. 30 स्टूडेंट्स पे 1 टीचर्स का रेशियो रखने की बात की गई है नए एजुकेशन सिस्टम में. इन हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस द फैकल्टी मेंबर्स आर कंसीडर्ड ए collaborate the guidance of a educating standard and making them as investor innovator and creative thinker and students have to freedom to choose subject outside of the core their area. There is no any things. I have one examples. One of my friends have a son have a lot of interest in a fine art, but some societal people, some people are forced. They have joined a engineering, so they have selected new branch is the architectural engineering, and they have applied the fine art skill in architectural engineering and find a good new result and new vision of a subject in the particular things. So there is a no any things. आप social science के हो, आप medical science में काम करना चाहते हो, आप medical science के हो, आप social science में काम करना चाहते हो, there is no any botheration. Is a interdisciplinary multidisciplinary approach, and you can select your idea, you can choose your problems in surrounding periphery, and how can you solve this problem, what is the role of your personnel in the solving the problem. That is important. That is not important कि आप subject के teacher हो कि नहीं हो, आप वो पढ़ाओगे कि नहीं पढ़ाओगे, that is not important. The PhD degree is compulsory along the process of NET and SLET as the essential qualification to become an assistant professor in any 3 types of HEI, and supported the research foundation funded through the National Research Foundation, and any other agencies will be equally distribute all 3 types of HEC based of the fair evaluation and research proposal. The 3 agencies continue helping to you if you have a proper need of solving the problems and proper making a project and got a funding through these things. Third, the HEI has a accreditations to compulsory and functioning the offering the degree and compulsory accreditation to required one for every 5 year per continuation operation. हर 5 साल के बाद आपका एक बार एक्रेडिटेशन होगा, आपका इवैल्यूएशन होगा कि आप जो डिग्री दे रहे हैं, आप जो काम कर रहे हैं, वो राइट वे में हो रहा है या रॉन्ग वे में हो रहा है. If we have find some need some changes, enhancement the programs, the everything is evaluated by the some agencies. The faculty performance and accountability is linked to the promotion and compensation. डायरेक्टली आपका प्रमोशन और आपका अकाउंटेबिलिटी आपके फिक्स होगी और ये आपके परफॉर्मेंस पे ऊपर डिपेंड करेगी. The social engagement in each student is compulsory, should be the equal to at least 1 full semester across the entire duration of the programs. The social responsibility हर सेमेस्टर में या मिनिमम 1 सेमेस्टर में मैंडेटरी होगी कि स्टूडेंट अपनी आसपास के सराउंडिंग प्रॉब्लम से जुड़े, बात करें, and how can they solve this problem? उसमें क्या उसका रोल हो सकता है सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को सॉल्व करने में कि नो की तरफ को अपने काम को बढ़ाएगा. The social engagement of each student is compulsory and should be equal to least 1 full semester across the entire duration of the programs. 4 years of bachelor degree holder with the proven research performance during the 4th year can directly admit to PhD programs without master degree in both type of higher education system. The multiple entrance and multiple exist facility to available. All undergraduate programs are the 4-year. हेलो
हेलो.
हाँ, आप सुन रहे हैं?
हाँ हाँ हाँ, सब सुन रहे हैं सर. प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
Yes, sir. Yes, continue, sir.
Okay. Discuss with the virtual education system. The virtual education system, the first revolution is the Indira Gandhi, the TV revolution, Vikram Sarabhai, SSG, the father of Indian space programs. 12th August, the birthday of Ascosius Day. Mars Day, Vikram Sarabhai birthday, we have celebrated the Indian Space Programs Day. The use of space technology for education as one of the main objective of satellite use. The first through the endogenous satellite INSAT, we will communicate education and developments. Also, we have discussed Satish Dhawan have the idea of EduSat. Satish Dhawan have set up a EduSat idea, and exclusive the networking the educational institution from primary, higher, and open and distance learning and technical education. The EduSat gives the boost of to education to develop a knowledge whereas well as rich to understand by putting the satellite network for education. You have a remember in during 80-85 era, only one channel is available on our television, have a Doordarshan, and Doordarshan is the odd hour, is the only morning or early evening have a telecast just some coursework programs, and this all coursework programs, this all academic programs. Some people are understanding proper way, some people are not understanding proper way. The lecture quality, course content, and so on things is a not proper or good manner way as per compared to today. So the education TV programs. First, the Professor Yashpal is a pioneer worker of the Indian education system and through virtual teaching. The Professor Yashpal, luckily I meet this person as a very enthusiastic, great personality. Through the education, he focused why we are not use the TVs each and every about the each and every लोगों के पास गांव-गांव तक शहर-शहर तक टीवी पहुंच चुकी थी, और उस टीवी को का यूज हम टीचिंग के लिए क्यों ना करें. ये कंसेप्ट प्रोफेसर यशपाल ने दिया, और उन्होंने एक फिल्म इंडस्ट्री के लोगों के साथ भी एक टाई अप किया जिसमें हैव अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले बाय द गिरीश कर्नाड, दीना पाठक, and many other actors are doing some small education project programs and film and so on things. They have encouraged that way कि आप education की तरफ बढ़ना शुरू करिए. Education is important things of any human life. The India had a cinema but had a neither education software nor know to how to do it. सिनेमा तो हमारे पास बहुत पुराना था, लेकिन एजुकेशन का कोई हमारे पास इस तरह का सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं था, नहीं कोई इस तरह की प्लानिंग थी. हाउ कुड वी हैव डेवलप्ड दिस थिंग्स, हैव अ बिग चैलेंज, एंड आई फील very happy the Professor Yashpal approached the persons to communicate for developing educational software and coursework programs. Professor Yashpal do the tremendous job. He continue encourage the people, professors and other things. आप अपना presentation शुरू करो, आप बनाओ दो, but लोग उस समय तैयार नहीं होते थे online presentations के लिए. Professor Madhuri Ben Shah is looking after education in Bombay. Is offer a place of Gwalior Tank School for production of education programs. This is the first initiative take by the Professor Madhuri Ben Shah in Bombay University. Take one school, have a use as a recording center, has a use for a studio purpose, and the studio made for production and start for using the proto camera we use, and the education TV second. The education TV second have a play a very important role to by the Professor Madhuri Ben Shah, the chairman UGC that times, and Professor Rasi Ahmed is the vice chairman of UGC. Professor S. Krishnan is the secretary of UGC. Is the idea of TV. Yes.
आपकी PPT अभी हमें नहीं दिख पा रही, PPT शेयर कीजिए.
नहीं हो गया.
अच्छा, PPT कंप्लीट हो गई. ठीक है, थैंक यू.
Okay. Sir, please carry on. Sir, sorry, sir. Please carry on.
Okay. PPT share नहीं हो रही है.
Yes.
Education system TV 3. We have discussed the education system. It's okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Education TV third, the Doordarshan was using the microwave and was he extends to use to satellite, and Mrs. Indira Gandhi supported to this, made a possible education TV to reach each and every corner of India, and instead 1B is took a signal to mass through the terrestrial mode and the production of programs 13 more center of EMMRC. That times पूरी दुनिया पूरे देश में सिर्फ 13 ऐसे रिकॉर्डिंग सेंटर बनाए गए जहां पे हम लेक्चर्स को रिकॉर्ड कर सकते थे और उनको टेलीकास्ट कर सकते थे. 1993 the setup of a system to coordination of CEC where this the center of DD for telecast. तो दूरदर्शन के साथ में डीडी एक सीईसी डेवलप हुआ जो कि मिल के दोनों टेलीकास्ट का काम करते थे. दैट टाइम्स द एजुकेशन सिस्टम, तो दैट वे वी हैव ए बेस कि हमारा जो नॉलेज है वो नॉलेज कैसे लोगों तक हम मैक्सिमम पहुंचाएं, उसका मोड ऑफ क्या होना चाहिए. द नॉलेज इज ए पावर. सर Francis Bacon ने बोला the three content of three dimension. The first content is a creation. Creation means the new knowledge, how to develop a new presentation, how to develop a new idea, how to develop a new PPT, and for easily transfer the knowledge to receiver. And second, extension, available of knowledge. Extension of knowledge, we have some basic knowledge, and how can extend this basic knowledge to spread the knowledge to each and every persons and needy persons. And fourth dimension is a disseminations, is acquiring knowledge. How could we acquire the knowledge? And third, the such important thing is the packing of knowledge. How could we packing of knowledge? How could we develop a e-content for your presentation, for your PPT, for your lecture? That is the important things through the things. We have find the 4 quadrants: video, content, assignments, MOOCs, and descriptions. The animation and interactive and video footage is also we use. And Digital India, we have discussed the e-resources of self-learning. Digital India is large of enrollment, O is the O mandatory qualification, O full online, C is the structure courses content, and SWAM is the limbs are SWAM, Prabha is the NDL, and NAD is the online portal, Wikipedia, digital library, and search engines also we have go through on these things. The download YouTube and Mozilla not we come but in a legal e-content collections, OER, and YouTube also. We have a lot of YouTube, you have a lot of messages, you have a lot of things. I remember the one teacher, I deliver lecture in EduSet programs, basic primary teacher trainings programs. The one teacher told कि सर हम तो lecture अब तो online दे नहीं पाएंगे तो हम क्या करेंगे, हमारे पास तो कोई काम रहा नहीं इस कोविड में. सब we not have properly go through the online lectures, तो अब क्या करेंगे, हम तो अचार चटनी मुरब्बे बना के बेचेंगे. तो हमने कहा कोई दिक्कत नहीं, you have to develop your PPT, you have to develop your YouTube to making a achar, how to making a pickles, how to making a things, and that way you have spread your knowledge in particular your field. So there is a no meaning कि आप किस सब्जेक्ट के एक्सपर्ट हैं, किस सब्जेक्ट के नहीं हैं, आप क्या प्रेजेंट करना चाहते हैं, क्या नहीं प्रेजेंट करना चाहते हैं. It means you have a one expertise, you have a one good skill in your self. You may be open platform to use your this platform for develop your knowledge and enhance and teach the people in proper manner. The e-content creations, the presentation tube and screen satisfied and screen cost and so on. The e-tutorial, e-content is the storage, safety and sharing through Google Drives and OneDrives, MS Drives. And e-content is a dimension, is a module, is ascending assessment and discussion of formations. Also we have some of these things. OER, the open LO, learning objects, OC, open content, OER with the source open coded. These things, the framework इसमें है reuse, receive, remix and redistribute and retain. You have find the OER 5 different formula you use for making your lecture and presentations in proper way. And Gmail also the collaborate used to effective online courses. Also 15 GB तक data आप ले जा सकते हैं. Model SWAMs, the 5 folder, the video content, the pure lecture, lecture domination, screen costing, and demonstration of screen costing, e-content cost, assessment of Q and MCQ, and decision forums and web linking. These are all have modeled these things. The SWAM we have discussed the study of wave and active learning to young and aspiring mind, one of the largest MOOC program developed by the AICT, MHRD, and Microsoft, handled by the MHRD programs, and 2,000 courses is also available, and 18,000 hours learning are available, and 10 languages these courses are available. These things we have just some of these things. The vision and SWAMs. So we have discussed NRC have also working on these things. The Center of Resource Councils also have developed these all things. IITs, NIDs, ISSCR, ISC, HRDC, ICUs, NNTR, IGNU, and NIITs and state universities and also college also have developed their own resource things. So in conclusion, the center and state government should sustainability to sustainability to increase the spending and education to attain the goal with the excellent and the comprehensive multitudes and socio-economic benefit. The Indian government have planning to organize the subject-wise committee with the number of relevant center and state minister in order to develop the implementation plan for each aspect of NEP, and there will be actions plan to multiple body including HRD, Ministry of NCERT, State Education Department, Center Advisory Board, and Education School Board, National Testing Agencies, among other, yearly joint review the progress for the implementation of policy will be conducting against then target set. If we have set the target in 2030, the comprehensive receive for this state and implementation of this policy and entirely with this conduct. The decided 30-40 is the whole policy will be over potential more and followed by the another comprehensive receive. So the dream are not those which we see sleep, but which don't let you sleep. ऐसा सपना न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी there is a big role play by our teachers और all academic person. ये सब हम लोग के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा important role play करेगा आने वाले दिनों में, और ये certain target के बीच में हमें करना है. 2030 implementation की date है, तो अभी से हम इसकी planning अपने lectures को, अपने course को, अपने programs को अगर उस mode में अपने को convert करना शुरू करेंगे, तो it is very easy way, and thanks to Corona and other way, that is very easy way communicate. Each and every people are doing a webinar, seminar, and conferences through the e-media. So that way we have a under practice things start, and the big challenge for our teachers, our academic person, for fulfill the desire of our education system, and as soon earlier we have ready to plan implement the new education policy 2030. We have developed the course curriculum and other things. So they have seen the three pictures. One, the back free education, back free to convert to tab is education, and as soon earlier we have a learning education start by the our laptop and other things. Thank you all of you. You listen very carefully and silently. If you have any question, you can ask me.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma, Dr. Mishra ji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
आपकी एक बड़ी बात मुझे बहुत जची, बहुत मुझे अच्छी लगी. आपने सबसे आखिरी में कहा थैंक यू टू कोरोना पेंडेमिक आल्सो. दैट्स अ ग्रेट थिंग. बुरे में भी कोई अच्छी बात ढूंढ लेना, ये बड़े लोगों का ही काम होता है सर, और आपने वो ढूंढ ली. दरअसल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में किस तरह से बदलाव आए हैं, फिर हायर एजुकेशन पॉलिसी क्या है, टीचिंग लर्निंग मेथड्स क्या है, कैसे इन सब बातों का विकास हुआ, आज एजुकेशन की स्थिति क्या है, यूनिवर्सिटीज, कॉलेजेस, गवर्नमेंट की भूमिका उसमें क्या रही है, तो इन सब बातों को आपने न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी एंड वर्चुअल टीचिंग चैलेंजेस फॉर टीचर एंड स्टूडेंट्स, इस आपके एक अच्छे भाषण में, अच्छे मार्गदर्शन में आपने सब कुछ बता दिया। इस विषय पर अपने विचारों को आज के हमारे इस प्रथम सेशन में आपने रखे। थैंक यू वेरी मच। इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आयोजकों की तरफ से मैं आपका तहे दिल से आभार प्रकट करता हूँ, और आपकी सबसे आखिरी लाइन है वो भी एक बार बोलता हूँ, बाद में सूत्र मैं हमारी डॉक्टर वंदना मैडम इनके हाथों सौंपता हूँ। तो आपने सबसे आखिरी में कहा अप टू 2030-40 the whole policy will be in operational mode. That is great. तो इन सब बातों का एक अच्छा एक विजन होना चाहिए जो आपके पास था, और आपने बहुत अच्छा मार्गदर्शन हमें दिया। वंस अगेन थैंक यू एंड ओवर टू डॉक्टर।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद डॉक्टर राजेंद्र निकुम जी, और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे डीन ऑफ रिसर्च एंड टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोफेसर नील कमल मिश्रा सर। एक्चुअल में एनईपी केवल न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 नहीं है, ये हम इसे नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी यदि 2020 कहें तो ज्यादा अच्छा होगा, क्योंकि इसने तमाम विषयों को जो वो हम जब जन्म लेते हैं और जब जन्म लेने के बाद स्टेप बाय स्टेप इम्प्रूव करते हैं, तो जितनी कलाएं होती हैं, जितने भी हमारे आर्ट्स होते हैं, वो सब के सब उसमें समाहित हो जाते हैं। और इसके लिए हमारे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने जिस तरह का मूवमेंट लिया, और सबके साथ मतलब कि हर राज्य के हर एजुकेशनिस्ट से, सारे स्टूडेंट से, और उन सबसे अपना अपना मांगा था व्यू, पूरा सर्वे हुआ है और लोगों ने अपने अपने क्वालिटीज को बताया है, और उसके बाद इस तरह से ये इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की बात आई है ताकि कोई भी घर बैठे भी अर्न कर सके और चीजों को और ज्यादा इम्प्रूव कर सके, और उस तरह से सभी लोग सभी चीजों से जुड़ सके। तो ये एक निश्चित रूप से एक शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में क्रांति है जिसे हमें स्वीकार करना चाहिए, और हम इसी का इंतजार भी कर रहे थे बहुत लंबे समय से। तो अब इसके बाद मैं डीन ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस डॉक्टर अंजू सिंह सर मैम से बहुत विनम्रता पूर्वक अनुरोध करूंगी कि वो भी अपने 2 शब्द हमारे साथ जिस तरह से भी चाहे हमें जरूर हमारे साथ साझा करें, ताकि हम लोगों को भी इंस्पिरेशन इसी तरह मिलता रहे। डॉक्टर अंजू सिंह मैम।
Hello, good morning, Vandana. Actually, I will be in the after lunch because meeting is going on.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
Okay. Then the next paper presentation, please continue. The list is
as per schedule.
as per schedule, or maybe who is the.
Please share the list, ma'am.
ओके वन सेकंड।
आप वहां देख लीजिए, रेज हैंड करके जितने लोगों का भी हो उनका करवा।
अच्छा, आप एक काम करिए, कौन अभी पेपर प्रेजेंट करना चाहता है, प्लीज आपके हाथ अगर कोई उठाता है तो मैं उनको, क्योंकि मेरे पास लिस्ट नहीं है दरअसल।
मैम ज्योति तिवारी मैंने रेज हैंड किया।
ओके। सो ज्योति तिवारी, आर यू रेडी? हाँ, प्लीज आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर बताइए। हेलो ज्योति।
28/4/19/016।
स्लो
8
हाँ
4 19 016।
ठीक है, आपका पेपर जो है वो प्रेजेंट करें। आपका पेपर प्रेजेंटेशन शुरू कर दें।
जी सर।
डॉक्टर ज्योति तिवारी। हेलो।
यस सर।
हाँ, स्टार्ट इमीडिएटली।
जी सर, वो कनेक्ट नहीं हो रहा था सर, अभी कर दीजिए।
हाँ, yes.
Sir, my name is Manisha Saini. मेरा registration number है 31319085.
Okay.
सर क्या मैं इनके बाद अपना presentation present कर सकती हूँ?
हाँ, जरूर कर सकते हैं, इनका होने दो.
Thank you.
Okay.
प्लीज कुछ 3 या 4 स्कॉलर्स के नाम अगर आप एडवांस ले लें तो हमें प्रिपरेशन में आसानी होगी सर.
नहीं, दरअसल मेरे पास कोई लिस्ट नहीं है. जब तक लिस्ट आए तब तक मैं इस तरह से जो चाहता है उनको पहले एक मौका दूंगा. ठीक है?
Then can I go in for Nisha Pillai?
Sir,
Yes.
Hello, sir.
sir, I am
Nisha
Pratibha
Pillai.
Jagdish, sir. I also want to do my PPT, sir.
देखिए, जब अभी पहले मैंने मौका दिया है ज्योति तिवारी जी को. अगर वो
Okay,
नहीं
sir.
करती है तो उसके बाद में मनीषा सैनी जो है वो प्रस्तुत करेगी अपना प्रेजेंटेशन.
Yeah,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Nisha
So after
Pillai.
Manisha, can I present, sir?
मनीषा भी अभी है ना? मनीषा
हाँ,
है
sir.
आप?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो आप एक काम करिए, आप शुरू करिए. आप आपकी पीपीटी लगाइए वहां पर.
Okay,
Sir,
sir.
Nisha Pillai. Sir, Nisha Pillai.
हाँ, हाँ.
सर पल्लवी मंगरूल।
6-7.
आपकी आवाज म्यूट कर दें.
सर मैं बोल सकती हूँ प्रेजेंटेशन
पल्लवी
पीपीटी
मंगरूल।
शेयर नहीं हो रही है मेरी।
हाँ, कोई बात नहीं, आप रुक जाइए. मनीषा ने अभी उनकी पीपीटी यहाँ पर ओपन कर दी है. तो मैं मनीषा को निवेदन करूंगा कि वो उनका पेपर प्रेजेंटेशन करे.
Sir, next Nisha Pillai.
मनीषा।
सर मेरा PPT
पल्लवी मंगरूल।
visible है क्या?
बाकी लोग प्लीज अभी आवाज मत करिए. आपकी आवाज म्यूट कर दीजिए प्लीज. इनका होने के बाद बात करेंगे.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, मेरा PPT
मनीषा जी शुरू करें.
Okay, sir. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Manisha Saini, biotech student with registration number 31319085, and I'm here to present my PPT in International Conference on Trends and Challenges of Virtual Education in respect of learning process. Distance education has its share of challenge, but students can succeed with the right tools. Distance learning provides an exceptional learning opportunity, flexibility, material, schedules, physical location, and this have some inherent problem in the areas of isolation. Students with distance education are benefited by, all the students are benefited with this distance education. Common problem of distance education is lack of support. The physical absence of the instructor during asynchronous learning, independent learning means that they may not be available to guide or support the students when they need it most. This means that the student may need to wait for the next learning period to get the support, or will have to reach out to the teacher via email or other communication channel. Oftentimes, getting support relies on the student formulating questions and asking for help. Sometimes some students may find it difficult. So it is better for one-to-one with a teacher. This will ensure your students to get the support they need and help them to build back any educational foundation they may be missing due to distance learning. Feeling of isolation. A lot of learning is peer-based as students use discussion and group to work through material. Teaching others, explaining concepts, answering questions, and defending positions are all excellent ways to learn and develop critical thinking skills. These are still possible in distance learning. They don't have the same social impact as working together in person. Socially, the child may feel isolated and miss out the regular interaction with their classroom and environment. In regular classroom environment, children make friends, and they communicate with their friends and play games and do exercises. And right now in virtual education, they study on screen only. Academic discipline. In an asynchronous learning environment, there is a certain amount of social pressure and regulation. Students have to show up on time with homework done, as they are guided through their learning like in an in-person classroom. This means students are accountable to their teachers and peers to be productive members. You can help them by establishing a structure and routine for completing their classwork and studying. It is also helpful to teach the child through executive functional skills like organization, prioritization, time management. This will help the child in managing and building his inherent quality. This can be achieved by executive skill training method. And technology, advances in technology have made distance learning a more viable option as students are able to interact with each other and with the instructor, utilize audio, video, and text to learn and use the internet for research. To ensure that the student is an effective effective distance learner, they must have access to all the technologies they need and to be able to effectively navigate and use the tools at their disposal. Distance learning solution with tutors and the child himself or teacher. Distance learning can be an incredible experience for students, but distance learning is also as effective as the student is. Knowing the challenge of distance learning before you begin can help you to create a positive and encouraging learning environment for the child to set up for the success. Getting a teacher or a tutor at the first sign of struggle can prevent the child from falling further behind and can help keep their distance. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, मनीषा सैनी. अभी नेक्स्ट ज्योति तिवारी अगर तैयार है तो मैं पहले उनको मौका दूंगा इसके बाद में. आर यू रेडी ज्योति?
सर श्रीधर कुमार बिरादर नाम प्लीज नोट कर लीजिए. आई वांट टू प्रेजेंट आफ्टर दीज टू स्कॉलर्स प्लीज.
सर निशा पिल्ले.
हेलो
निशा पिल्ले आर यू रेडी?
हेलो सर, डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी निवळे. कैन आई प्रेजेंट?
जस्ट अ मिनट. निशा पिल्ले आप हो यहाँ पर?
सर
हो क्या निशा पिल्ले?
सर प्रतिभा जगदीश सर.
एनीवे निशा श्रीधर है क्या?
सर प्रतिभा जगदीश सर.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
श्रीधर क्या आप पेपर प्रेजेंट करना चाहते हो?
सर आपको स्क्रीन दिख रहा है?
सर प्रतिभा जगदीश सर.
अरे आप सब लोग एक साथ मत बोलिए ताकि मुझे ठीक से सुनाई दे. और किसका है?
स्टार्ट.
निशा. हाँ, so निशा पिल्ले आर यू रेडी?
यस सर.
ओके प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
Okay, sir. We as teachers, our job is not to prepare the students for something, but to help students to prepare themselves for anything. So that was our role as teachers, but Corona as our teacher has exactly done this thing. It has prepared us for anything. And this is my paper presentation to JJTU University, and the topic that I have taken for the paper presentation is minimize. Impact of new normal on various fields of education and departments. Just to say that I have concentrated more on education rather than departments. To begin with, I quote Socrates. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. We in the field of education is doing exactly the same. That is, we are trying to build the new. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed how the world works. With everyone sitting home, it seemed like everything would come to a halt and would affect the daily ongoing activities. But with various technological advancements and various resources, people could continue their day-to-day office work by connecting with everyone online. This pandemic acted as a boom period for many video conferencing apps, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, etc. With corporates utilizing these new technologies, it became essential for our education system also to adapt and to make their change, so that the pandemic does not affect the future of our students. Today, almost every school and college in India are conducting lectures online. We at JJTU is also doing exactly the same. This wasn't an easy decision considering the lack of infrastructure and lack of internet connectivity across India. In major cities where all of this is accessible, structure, many students have now access to online classes. In this research, we would be looking into how this pandemic has affected the education system, what needs to be implemented, and what is the impact of new normal in the field of education. The unprecedented event of COVID-19 has made it necessary for every country to adapt to the new normal. Education system in the future needs to work on the development of infrastructure so that the education system won't have to suffer as it is suffering now. In this research, I will be taking about the need to devise hybrid online and offline education system. Why is it important to provide students with alternatives to offline classes? Better infrastructure and hybrid systems will be beneficial at global, national, as well as institutional level. Pre-COVID and post-COVID, there are approximately 993 universities, 39,931 colleges, and 10,725 standalone institutions across India. These institutions further reflect the student density of India as enrollments in higher education every year are nearly 37.4 million. Out of which only 1.5% of the colleges in India were using e-learning. It is predicted that these numbers will rise to at least 20 to 25% post-COVID era. But to achieve this, a proper plan would need to be set out and be implemented with a view of improving the infrastructure so that issues like lack of internet connectivity, new mode of media consumption, etc. can be overcome. With teachers being trained to use software like Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, etc., it will be possible to ensure that students can acquire quality education from anywhere in the world. Strategies of Indian higher education system. To overcome the hurdles created by COVID-19, Indian higher education have adopted a few plans to overcome these crises in the pandemic. I would request the others to please mute the mic, please.
ये बीच में जो लोग बात कर रहे हैं ना, प्लीज आपकी आवाज म्यूट कर दो। बीच में कौन बोल रहा है? हेलो, अरे आप सब लोग आपकी आवाज म्यूट कर लो। एक प्रेजेंटेशन चल रहा है, उसको ठीक से सुनो सब लोग।
ह्याच्यामध्ये विटामिन डी असतं, ह्याच्यामध्ये विटामिन डी असतं।
आप शुरू करिए प्लीज। निशा मैडम, आप शुरू करें।
Yes, sir. Hello. Internet connection. Okay. That is to overcome the hurdles. Indian higher education have adopted a few plans like eGyan Coach, which preserves and enables easy and open access to all types of digital content, including text, images, moving images, MPEGs, and data sets. Gyan Darshan is a web-based TV channel devoted to educational and developmental needs for open and distance learners. Gyandhara is an internet audio Students can listen to the live discussions by the teachers and experts on the topic of the day and interact with them before email and also chat. Swayam is a program initiated by Government of India and decided to achieve the three cardinal principles of education and quality. The objective of this effort is to take the best teaching learning resource to all, including the most disadvantaged problems. According to the report based on the 2017-18 National Sample Survey, less than 15% of rural Indian households have internet, as opposed to the 42% urban Indian households. A mere 13% of people surveyed aged above 5 in rural areas, just 8.5% of females could use the internet. The poorest households cannot afford a smartphone or computer. The rapid shift to e-learning prompted by the pandemic has resurfaced long-standing issues of inequality and a digital divide in India that must be addressed by future economic, education, and digitalization policies. And this has been diagrammatic representations have represented the urban, rural Indian population, which is having computers and internet. This is the regional disparity that is there. Professors should be provided with intensive training programs that will help them learn to utilize the resources that provide with uncompromising teaching experience. Online certificates needs to be certified by the government. This will help ensuring the credibility of online courses. Exams and assessment of the same should be looked into very seriously. Thereby enabling in an ethical conduct of exams with minimum conduct of quality. Developing infrastructure in rural areas like placement of projectors and screens in various rural areas, thereby enabling students to attend lectures while maintaining social distancing norms. Changes takes place at a time of deep crisis. The entire world is reeling under the shock of COVID-19 pandemic. Its outcome cannot be predicted on the face. We are spiraling backwards in the attainment of 2020 goals. Yet, we are holding ourselves in great self-esteem, proving resilience, and laying the groundwork for super comeback. Educational practices have to be rebuilt and steered towards sustainable development goals, thereby hurting ourselves to a more resilient. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Nisha ji, आपका हो गया. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Supriya Londe ji. Supriya Londe.
But before we proceed, please mute the other people.
Hello, sir. Lakshmi Nivle, madam. Pratibha Jagdish. Lakshmi Nivle.
जिनकी आवाज आ रही है ना, उनको समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. इतना कॉमन सेंस रखिए यार. आप लोग ऑनलाइन हो, आप कुछ भी घर की बातें करें, यहाँ पे डिस्टर्ब करें सबको. आपकी आवाज बंद करो.
Shall I start, sir?
क्या आवाज आ रही है? पटेल कौन है? उनकी आवाज आ रही है.
Sir, shall I start, sir?
जब तक सबकी आवाज बंद नहीं होगी, तब तक मैं नहीं चालू करूंगा.
Shall I start, sir?
पहले आवाज बंद करें.
Sir, Pratibha Jagdish.
प्रतिभा जगदीश कौन है? प्रतिभा जगदीश.
Pratibha Jagdish present, sir. Shall I start, sir? Sir, Lakshmi Nivle. My registration number is 1810. My registration number is
जसं पाहिजे ते म्हणले हॉल साठी मी डोकं लावते फ्लॅट सिस्टम हॉल छोटा
my registration number is 1810 256.
आमच्या घरात आता नाही म्हणजे तरी 7-8 लहान
remove the topic.
My registration number.
सुप्रिया लोंढे.
सुप्रिया लोंढे.
सुप्रिया लोंढे आपला
तुझं बरोबर 2.5 लाख असं म्हणायचं.
प्रतिभा जगदीश.
तरी ना आम्ही बरेच माझं ऑटोमेशन ऍपच केलं.
सब प्रतिभा जगदीश.
आपने चालू करिए. प्रतिभा.
My registration number is 1810-256.
10% झालं ते. स्टडी
Sir,
आपण
I'm going to speak about COVID-19 and cancer.
यांनी यांच्या पद्धतीने
At Tata Memorial Hospital, we treat the cancer patients as well as the COVID patients who's been affected with. So what happens to the normal cell is, normally there is a multiplication which is happening, but the multiplication gets stopped.
Automation.
But in malignant cells, there is an uncontrolled cell proliferation. It is metastatic in nature. Whereas in cancer, it is invasive in nature. It is angiogenic. The cancer cells are angiogenic. They are non-encapsulated, and the microenvironment changes. There is a disruption in the metabolic activity, which means there is a lot of intracellular changes which are happening, and the genetic mutation happens. That is, finally there is a DNA which is happening. There are a lot of
I'm going to break your red
This is
card.
what happens in the normal cell.
वायरलेस केलं तर खूप कॉस्टली पडतात.
And what happens to the patients of cancer? The patients of cancer, because of the disease of cancer itself, they are very much
Just a minute. Hello.
आपल्याला वाटतं वायरचा खूप
एक मिनट मैडम, आप सब लोग कितना बातें करते हैं?
चांगली वायर मध्ये
Drop silence. Drop silence.
Madam, please mute them. It's
नहीं, पहले तो मैं म्यूट करूंगी.
कोई इंदुमती है, सुविद्या है, सुप्रिया लोंडे है, वो लोग ऐसे बात कर रहे
हैं. Ma'am, can I continue, ma'am? Pratibha
Is it too clean पाहिजे?
एक मिनट मैं जरा म्यूट कर दूं. हेलो, हाँ मैडम, आप लोग सब पढ़े लिखे हैं या नहीं पढ़े लिखे हैं? हाँ, आपको वर्चुअल एजुकेशन जिसपे हम बात कर रहे हैं, आप क्या बच्चों को पढ़ाएंगे? बड़े शर्म की बात है कि अगर हम कुछ चीज सीख ही नहीं पाते हैं तो हम क्या करेंगे? आपको सबको जबरदस्ती बंद करना चाहिए. सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन नाम की कोई चीज नहीं है. जब आप खुद नहीं सीखते हैं तो आप दूसरों को क्या सिखाएंगे? अगर आप सबको अपने घर के काम करने हैं तो आप करते रहिए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है हमको. This is very bad. आप इतने मतलब मैच्योर लेवल पे हम खुद डिसिप्लिन नहीं सीख सकते हैं तो हम बच्चों को क्या सिखाएंगे, जिनके लिए जो हम कल की तस्वीर इकट्ठा करना चाहते हैं, जो हम सोसाइटी को बताना चाहते हैं कि हम टीचर्स हैं. क्या मतलब है ऐसी कॉन्फ्रेंस करने का और ऐसी पढ़ाई लिखाई करने का और पीएचडी करने का जहां हमको सीखते नहीं है? This is very bad and I am very much disappointed by this. And I am muting all. Then what is the problem if I mute all? Then again and again I have to unmute everybody to start their presentation. You don't understand this? मैं किसी को भी म्यूट नहीं करूंगी और मैं राइट दे रही हूँ, उसको रिमूव कर दो. और अगर आपने पे किया है या नहीं किया है, I will not give the issue the certificate. देसाई मैम, स्वाति देसाई मैम.
हाँ या मैडम, सुन रही हूँ.
आप सुन रहे हैं? मैं आपको ये को होस्ट बना रही हूँ और अगर कोई जो भी स्वाति मैम डिस्टर्ब करता है उसका नाम निकाल दीजिए और उसको हम सर्टिफिकेट नहीं देंगे.
Yes, I will put that in blacklist.
Yes, blacklisting. और उसको पूरा पनिशमेंट है. और अगर वो नहीं
cancel their coursework also.
Yes, बिल्कुल. मैं किसी को भी म्यूट नहीं करूंगी और they have to learn. और आपको मैंने को होस्ट बना दिया है मैम.
Yes.
And now, sorry to disturbance, Jagdish ji, now you can start. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. I'm Pratibha Jagdish. My number is 1810256. I'm going to talk about COVID-19 and cancer. The normal cell, in what happens is there is a rate of multiplication which has been very much controlled in normal conditions, whereas in malignant cell there is an uncontrolled cell proliferation. This is what happens in the abnormal cells. They are metastatic in nature. The cancer cells very much, they are invasive. They invade into the mucosa. They invade into the mucosal and the submucosal regions. They are very much angiogenic, which means they have got the capacity to have the blood cells regenerated on its own, and they survive on their own. They are non-encapsulated, and so they can get into the other organisms very easily. The microenvironment of the cancer cell changes, and there is a lot of activity which is happening. There is a metabolic activity which is very higher in nature. Finally, what happens in the cancer cell is there is a genetic mutation which is happening, and the DNA is what is ultimately changed. When the DNA is changed, the DNA is not going to stop here. The DNA is making many more copies, and the cancer cell replicates very faster. But in cancer patients, what leads to them to this immunosuppressive condition is, it is because of the disease itself, they become immune suppressed. In addition to that, they receive a lot of chemotherapy, which causes bone marrow suppression, and the patients are more prone for COVID at this stage. Their multiple chemotherapies cause them the bone marrow suppression. They also receive the radiotherapy, which can be concurrent in nature and which further reduces the immune condition, and they are more prone for COVID. Most of them are also going for the bone marrow transplant cells, which can be the autogenic or the allogenic in nature, and they are also subjected to the immune therapy. All these conditions and the comorbidities associated, which leads them to the immune suppression, and the patients are more prone for COVID. We at Tata Memorial Hospital has treated many patients, more than 1,000 patients, and with COVID. And we are proud to say that this is only the organization which has treated both the conditions, that is the cancer and the COVID. So what happens to our immune system? Let us see what exactly happens. There is the CTLA4 and the PD1, and these are being active. This enters into the T lymphocytes, and they are inactivated at this time. So what happens is the T lymphocytes, which has to do its function, is not functioning. So they are also not attacking the cancer cells, which make the cancer cells to survive in a larger amount. So what we are going to do is the monoclonal antibodies we are going to administer at this time, and this is what is the same treatment we are giving to the COVID patients. The monoclonal antibodies are going to make the T lymphocytes active in nature. So in cancer cells, there are the tumor-associated macrophages, which are reduced. They are not functioning. The transferring growth factors are more in nature. The cytokines are reduced, thereby the development of cancer helps, and the tumor cell regulatory cells are reduced, and the function is very much reduced. The transforming growth factors are also not functioning well. This is what happens to the cancer microenvironment. What you see, the blackish nature is the cancer cell which is happening, and all the cells, that is the T lymphocytes, the interleukins, the interferons, the cytokines, and the macrophages, none of them are not working, and the cancer cells, which is black in nature, they are going on developing. So what is COVID? All of us know it is all the coronavirus, which causes the respiratory and the vascular problems. So there is an involvement of the lung as well as the cardiac problems. It is being transmitted by means of the droplets. They are very non-specific in nature. They are called the real-time reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction, and there the pulmonary complications occur. So what happens to the cancer patients with the COVID? They are basically immune suppressed, and in addition to that, this COVID causes more and more suppression. The cardiovascular system can cause myocardial infarction. The central nervous system can cause the cerebrovascular accidents. The patients are more having the thrombus, and there is dyspnea. There is extreme fatigue which are being observed when patients with COVID. Anorexia is present. They are not eating, and further complications complicates the condition. Neutropenia is very highly seen in these patients, and their patients are more prone for clot formation and can die from this. So what is that methodology we followed at Tata Memorial Hospital? We had the options to the patients. Instead of the oral chemotherapy, instead of the IV chemotherapy, we can give the oral chemotherapy so that they need not come to the hospital. That is what we have made here. And the home infusions, that is, they can get the home infusions at hospital itself. And the treatment options were the monoclonal antibodies, that is the bomlanimab or the basatinibab, and in addition, dexamethasone is being given. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pratibha. Next, और कौन चाहता है प्रेजेंट का पेपर प्रेजेंट करने?
श्रीधर कुमार बिरादर, मैं ऑलरेडी
हाँ यस श्रीधर जी, आप आपकी पीपीटी शुरू करें.
जी सर. मैडम, इफ यू कैन stop your sharing, I can share my slides.
Hello.
हाँ
Sir, can I present after him?
आपकी पीपीटी हटा लीजिए.
Sure.
Sir, पल्लवी मंगरोळे.
हाँ एक सेकंड, श्रीधर अभी शुरू कर रहे हैं.
Sir, after him can I present पल्लवी मंगरोळे?
पल्लवी. एक सेकंड, मैं लिख लेता हूँ आपका नाम पल्लवी, ठीक है?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Pallavi, my name is Shona. Shona.
Okay.
So I'll do it after Pallavi, sir.
Oh yes. First of all, श्रीधर जी.
सर, मैडम ने शेयर करना अभी बंद नहीं किया. हाँ, आई एम शेयरिंग नाउ.
Start your presentation.
जी सर.
बोल की.
बोल.
Hello.
हेलो श्रीधर जी, व्हाट्स हैपेंड?
जी सर, स्लाइड शेयर नहीं हो रहा, पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है.
चलो ठीक है, जब आपका शेयर होगा उससे पहले पल्लवी है. पल्लवी.
Yes sir.
हाँ प्लीज आपकी पीपीटी लगाइए.
Sir, can I present after Pallavi, Dr. Lakshmi Nivle?
पल्लवी का तो हो जाने दो. हाँ yes.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes.
Okay, good morning all. My name is Miss Pallavi Mangrole. My registration number is 299190028. My topic for today's presentation is e-learning in nursing, scope and issues. To introduce my topic, nursing education can maintain its dynamic quality when it comes to innovation and modern methods of teaching and learning. Therefore, teachers are required to employ up-to-date methods in their teaching plans. According to educational psychologists, effective long-lasting learning entails active engagement of their learners. Therefore, education professionals are currently emphasizing modern, active, learner-centered methods. With the rapid development of information communication technologies, that is ICT, internet technologies and web-based applications have created unprecedented opportunities for the conduction of lectures. And this phenomena has led to the exponential growth of electronic learning, that is e-learning, in recent years and during current pandemic of COVID-19. This method has in fact provided a new paradigm of teaching and learning, which enables everyone to learn anything, anywhere, and at any time throughout their lives. This is of particular importance and necessity in learning in nursing profession, as nurses need access to updated information on diseases, treatments, drugs, and thus new skills. So discussing about various methods of virtual education in nursing, that is individualized self-paced e-learning online, individualized self-paced e-learning offline, group-based e-learning synchronously, and group-based e-learning asynchronously. Various forms of e-nursing to discuss, that is no e-learning, that is face-to-face learning and traditional methods of teaching learning, blended or hybrid learning, the use of classroom PowerPoint, slides, website courses, laptops, and various e-programs, and fully e-learning, that is which we are following currently in JJT also, that is distance education. Skill required in e-nursing. First basic skill is basic computing and communication skill, which is very much essential for every nurse to carry out e-nursing program in nursing education. Second is assembling internet resources, and third is use of pre-designed packages which are available online. Discussing about various issues in e-nursing, first is obviously availability of funds. Next is level of computer literacy to the nursing personnel and nursing teacher. Then cyberphobia and commitment towards the e-nursing or e-teaching. Then data privacy, empowerment, confidentiality of the data, and skill development. So these are various issues which we have found during the e-learning process. Discussing about advantages of e-nursing, it enhances innovative teaching, it promotes self-directed learning, it is convenient for the learner. E-learning, it saves time and place for learning. It promotes internet use. Various disadvantages of e-nursing. Some forms of e-learning, they are perceived as isolating from personal touch. So face-to-face teaching learning is neglected in the e-nursing. And nurses may not have IT skills needed to take advantages of e-learning. So this was about my topic, that is learning in nursing scope and issues. Thank you everyone.
Thank you Pallavi. Next.
Sir, Dr. Lakshmi,
So can I present now?
सर मैं ट्राई करूं प्लीज?
हाँ एक बार श्रीधर जी आप फिर एक बार ट्राई करो.
जी सर.
Put your PPT.
जी सर.
Sir, after Sridhar ji, can I present Dr. Lakshmi?
Yes, Dr. Mrs. Lakshmi, na?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
After Pallavi, no, Shona.
Ha, Shona also there.
Yes, I'm ready with the PPT also, sir.
Ha, just a minute.
Yeah, thank you.
Wait for Sridhar.
Okay,
If Sridhar cannot play his PPT,
okay.
Shona also.
Yes,
are you
I'm
ready?
ready. Yes, I'm ready, sir.
Put your PPT.
Okay.
Can I present after Shona?
Ha, yes.
Okay, sir.
So just give me 1 minute. I'm just putting on the PPT.
Okay.
So is my screen visible?
No.
Okay, give me 1 minute, sir.
Sir, can I present after Lakshmi?
हाँ yes. पहले लक्ष्मी का हो जाने दो, फिर आपका देखेंगे क्या है क्या नहीं, ठीक है?
So please note my name as well, Shailesh Borkar.
Okay.
Sir, my name is Suchita Raut. I also want to present.
हाँ, yes.
Suchita Raut, sir.
हाँ. There are so many participants are there. Please wait.
Okay, sir.
अभी फिलहाल जो है ना उनको पहले एक मौका देंगे.
Okay.
So what's happened, Shonam?
Sir, I am just trying to get the PPT on the screen.
Okay, never mind. Just wait again. Next कौन है जो करना चाहते थे? लक्ष्मी, डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी, डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी है?
हाँ सर है. I am ready sir with my PPT.
आपकी PPT लगाओ.
जी सर.
सर पीपीटी शेयर क्यों नहीं हो रही? सर पीडीएफ बनानी पड़ेगी क्या? सॉरी सर, इंटरप्ट टू यू.
नहीं, दरअसल मुझे
सर मैंने पीपीटी शेयर करने की बहुत कोशिश की, लेकिन वो पीपीटी अलाउ ही नहीं कर रहा है.
देखिए, मैं जेजेटी स्टूडियो में हूँ,
प्रॉब्लम मेरे साथ भी हो रहा है.
शेयर नहीं हो सकते. पीपीटी शेयर करने के लिए आपको ही आपके मोबाइल से या आपके कंप्यूटर से कुछ करना पड़ेगा. वो मुझे पता नहीं आप क्या कर रहे हैं.
ओके सर,
ओके हो रही है.
मैम कन्वर्टेड टू
पीडीएफ बना लो मैडम. ये
जी सर पीडीएफ बना.
हो, पीडीएफ बनाने के बाद ही ओपन होगी वो.
सर इन्होंने तो पीपीटी कहा था, तुम परेशान.
मोबाइल पे
शेयर कर सकता है. आप में से जो शेयर कर सकता है वो पहले आ जाए, उनका नंबर लग जाएगा.
सर इज माय स्क्रीन विजिबल?
हु आर यू?
सर आई एम श्रीधर सर. सर इज माय स्क्रीन विजिबल टू यू?
So Dr. Lakshmi, can I present? Is my screen visible?
देखो अभी सुचिता दिख रही है. सुचिता शुरू करें प्लीज. सुचिता राउत.
सर इकडे बस.
सुचिता राउत प्लीज कंटिन्यू. सुचिता राउत, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
Sir, Sujita Raut, sir, presenting my PPT.
Oh yes, start.
My registration number is 26117028, and sir, my topic is tribal girls education in Maharashtra. The importance of education. Human resource development plays a vital role in the development of any nation other than materialistic development. Education develops human resources. The development of countries, states, society, or community can be judged by the quality of education the people get there. Quality of education depends upon the implementation of educational schemes and policies. The educational policies is based on social, political, cultural, and geographical conditions, as well as the national needs of that particular country. Since the time of independence, India has been focused on improving the literacy of the country, literacy rate of the country. So after independence for tribal people, Constitution has made some amendments. Before that, there were no policies for tribal people, for tribal people's education. What Constitution has made amendments that I am going to present here. With the adoption of Constitution, the scenario has changed. It has become the responsibility of the central as well as the state government. It is the single most important means by which individuals and society can improve the personal endowment, build capacity levels, overcome barriers, and expand opportunities for the sustained improvement in their well-being. Professor Amartya Sen recently emphasized education has an important parameter for any inclusive growth in an economy. So what the policies and programs made by government for the tribal, that also I am going to present. The male and female gap in literacy and educational attainment among the scheduled tribes is quite significant. Despite the sincere and concrete efforts by the central and state government for the overall development of the scheduled tribes, they could not reach to the standard parameters of the development. They are unable to participate in the process of development, as they are unaware of the programs and policies made for their upliftment. This is mainly due to illiteracy and very poor level of education among the tribal children. Hence, the educational status of scheduled tribes and the role of government is in the direction is very significant. Sir, we generally find the gender disparity among tribal boys and girls. generally the literacy of boys, the literacy level of boys, it is increasing, but still the girls' literacy rate is not increasing, and that I am going to focus here. It is well known that the efforts for educational development of tribes are very discouraging as compared to the rest of the population. As stated earlier, education is a prior avenue for upgrading the economic and social conditions of the scheduled tribes. In this context, the objectives of the paper is to analyze the educational status, the enrollment and the dropout rate of tribal children in schools, as well as to find out gender disparity in the context of education in tribal population of India. So here, I want to focus on the girls' dropout rate. In tribal ashram schools, we find generally the girls' enrollment rate is lower than the boys. Here I am going to present the scenario of the literacy rate from 1961 to 2011. In 1961, the literacy rate of tribal people, it was 19.77 only. Then it has been increased in 97. In 1971, it has been increased up to 23.15. Then in 81, it has been increased up to 27.22. Then after that, after 10 years, it has been increased up to 22.61, then 17.74. And after that, in 2011, in the census of 2011, we found out that the literacy rate of the tribal children, it is 14.03. Girls' enrollment rate is low than the boys. From the above table, we can clearly observe that the literacy rate of ST population is increasing day by day. In the period of 60 years, India has made many schemes and policies to how to grow the educational level of tribal communities. And as a result, we can see the educational growth in them, but it is less than others. At the same time, it is very clear that the gross enrollment ratio of ST boys is more than girls ratio in all years. Now, let us know the standard-wise gross enrollment ratio of ST girls and boys. Gross enrollment ratio. In classes 1st to 5th, the boys enrollment ratio is 137.2 and girls enrollment ratio is 136.7. Then in 5th to 8th, it is 90.7 in boys and 87.0 in girls. In 9th, 10th, it is 57.1 in boys and 9.1 in girls. In 11th and 12th, for boys it is 32.7 and for girls it is 24.8. Then in 1st to 12th, in all above, if we will see, it is 96.8 for boys and 92.8 for girls. It is also lower than the boys. Here also we can say the gross enrollment ratio is higher in 1st to 5th, which is 137.2 for ST boys and 136.7 for ST girls. But after that, that means after 5th, the students are generally found that they leave the school and they begin to do some economical work to help their parents. Here the dropout rate of boys and girls also can be stated. All girls dropout rate only. Girls dropout rate is 25.1 if from 1st to 5th. Then 1st to 8th it is 41.0 and from 1st to 10th it is 47.9. In this way, here I want to say that why the girls generally leave education. What are the problems of tribals? That also we should see. Then the first problem is the lack of interest in formal education. They do not find any kind of interest in formal education. They just want to earn money for their daily needs. And sir, I will just now I will conclude. No suitable teachers. Lack of facilities are also there. Distance from home, the school, that is also too much. Then the school buildings are not proper. Timings are not proper because they have to earn money. They have to go to their field and other work. That is why their school timing should also change. Then child marriages, that is one of the tradition in the tribals that they just think about marriages of the children. in very low ages, and the economical factors are also there. In this way, that I tried to focus on the tribal girls education in my presentation. Thank you very much for giving me chance for this. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Can I present?
दरअसल सुनिए सुचिता, मैं
हाँ,
आपको
सर।
और आप सभी को बोलना चाहता हूँ कि हमारा ऑनलाइन इंटरनेशनल ये मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी कॉन्फ्रेंस होने के बावजूद इसकी जो थीम है वो क्या है, अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड चैलेंजेस ऑफ द एक्साइटिंग ट्रेंड्स ऑफ वर्चुअल एजुकेशन, है ना? तो आपने उस पर ध्यान देना चाहिए था। ये विषय आपका टॉपिक बहुत अच्छा है, आपकी प्रस्तुति भी अच्छी है, लेकिन ये इससे रिलेटेड नहीं है। तो ऐसा ना करें, ठीक है अभी ये हो गया, कोई बात नहीं, बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन आप लोगों ने ये आगे भविष्य में भी समझना चाहिए कि कहाँ पर क्या प्रेजेंट करना है और किस तरह से विषय के अनुसार ही आपको कोई टॉपिक देना है। एनीवे, नेक्स्ट अगला
डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी।
सर दिस इज शोना, आई प्रेजेंट नाउ।
हाँ, डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी है?
हाँ सर हूँ। यस सर।
आपकी पीपीटी, हाँ ओके।
हाँ सर प्रेजेंट। हाँ सर।
यस, प्रेजेंट योर पेपर।
यस सर।
Sir, can you put my name also? Prempal, I am also ready for PPT, sir.
हाँ करेंगे, पहले इनका हो जाने दो अभी।
Sure, sir.
डॉक्टर
अगला presentation
सर मैं कर रही हूँ सर। my PPT is ready, but somebody else is showing his PPT sir on the screen.
डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी के अलावा दूसरा कोई है तो प्लीज आपकी पीपीटी हटा लीजिए। क्या हो रहा है यहाँ स्टूडियो में? मेरे पास कोई ऑपरेशन नहीं करने के लिए यहाँ पर मैं, हाँ तो मैं यहाँ से कुछ कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ। आप लोग प्लीज थोड़ी सूझबूझ रखिए। व्हाट्स हैपेंड डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी?
सर स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रहा है, किसी और का आ रहा है, पता नहीं
किसका आ रहा है।
सर
जिसने पीपीटी आपकी शेयर कर रखी होगी वो, हाँ शोना।
No sir, somebody is already on and I think that PPT is on sir. Now my PPT
लेकिन
is
मुझे तो दिखाई
हाँ
नहीं देती है।
सर डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी मेरा पीपीटी बस दिख रहा है ना सर?
Yes, Lakshmi,
डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी निवाल है ना?
हाँ यस सर।
ओके हाँ यस।
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible also.
Okay, thank you sir. Sir, I am going to present.
रजिस्ट्रेशन
मैं आउटसाइड आपके यूनिवर्सिटी से नहीं हूँ, अदर यूनिवर्सिटी से।
ओके ऑलराइट, यू स्टार्ट योर पेपर प्रेजेंटेशन।
Okay, good morning one and all. I'm Dr. Mrs. Lakshmi Nivle from the Department of Anatomy. My topic's name is, are neoclassical canons valid in young adults of Western Maharashtra? Introduction. From ancient days to modern era, the exact formula of beauty is not yet calculated. The norms of beauty changes from country to country and race to race. In ancient days, it was believed that attractive and harmonious faces were having certain fixed proportions. So these proportions are nothing but the neoclassical canons. These canons were used extensively by Leonardo da Vinci, Durer in their art during Renaissance. These canons were served as guidelines for artists as well as for aesthetic structures for centuries. In ancient Greece, they calculated the formula for creation of art, and these formulae are called as neoclassical canons. The classical Greek canons of facial balance are still foundation of modern reconstructive and aesthetic surgery. Aim to check the validity of orbitonasal and nasofacial neoclassical canons in Western Maharashtrian young adult population. So objectives are to generate baseline data for facial plastic and reconstructive surgery, to compare the results with other ethnicities or groups in the world. Now material and method. Present study is carried out in Sangli, Kolhapur, Karad, Satara, and Islampur city of the Western Maharashtra after taking due approval from both the universities of Vadodara and Maharashtra. After taking a written consent from the students, 300 students from each city of Western Maharashtra were studied. The age group of participants were ranging between 18 to 20 years. Now, calibrated standard digital vernier caliper was used to take facial measurements, keeping both the arms of the caliper on either side of alley of nose. Similarly, on both inner canthi of the eyes, nose width and intercanthal distance was measured respectively. Similarly, by keeping both the arms of the caliper on right and left gigi-on, face width was calculated. Now, the methodology adopted for the measurements was taken from the guidelines by Farkas LG in his book Anthropometric Facial Proportions in Medicine. Now, the facial measurements, we checked the validity of two horizontal neoclassical canons, the orbitonasal and nasofacial canons. According to orbitonasal canon, ideal intercanthal distance should be equal to nose width, and according to nasofacial canon, ideal nose width is equal to 1/4 of face width. Now, according to orbitonasal canon, intercanthal distance is equal to nose width or alar width, or it can be greater than nose width or it can be lesser than nose width. Now, in nasofacial canon, nose width or alar width is 1/4 of the face width. Now, it can be equal to face width or less than face width, or it can be greater than face width. Now, the results are face width, that is mean face width in Western Maharashtrian males was 125.85 millimeters with standard deviation 5.54, and in females it was 119.64 millimeters with standard deviation 5.45. Now, intercanthal distance, mean intercanthal distance in Western Maharashtrian males was 28.96 mm with standard deviation 2.85, and in females it was 28.22 mm with standard deviation 2.72. Now, the nose width or alar width, mean nose width in Western Maharashtrian males was 38.28 mm with standard deviation 2.72, and in females it was 35.26 mm with standard deviation 2.47. Now, the orbitonasal canon, in our study, all 1,500 subjects were having intercanthal distance which is greater than alar width or nose width. This canon could not found valid at all. Now, second canon, that is nasofacial canon, in our study, 99.07% subjects were having nose width is greater than 1/4 of face width. It was more obvious in males than in females. A very small percentage, that is 0.93% subjects were having nose width lesser than 1/4 of face width. It was more obvious in females than in males. So,
okay.
Thank you.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी। मैं फिर एक बार कहना चाहूंगा कि ठीक है, आपको यहाँ अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है पेपर प्रेजेंट करने की, फिर भी आपको वर्चुअल एजुकेशन का जो एक्साइटिंग ट्रेंड है, उस ट्रेंड में क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, क्या चैलेंजेस है, उस बारे में पेपर प्रेजेंट करना है। आप, इसलिए मैं ये सब कह रहा हूं क्योंकि आपको सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा, सर्टिफिकेट में ये सब कुछ होगा। अगर कोई समझदार है तो वो देखने के बाद आपको हंसेगा। तो आप लोग सबको मैं बोलता हूं कि आप जरा देखो, इस तरह से सब देख के ही पेपर सबमिट करते जाओ ताकि आपके लिए वो फायदेमंद साबित हो, आपके लिए सही साबित हो। एनीवे, थैंक यू वंस अगेन। नेक्स्ट कौन है?
Sir, this is Shona. Should I start the presentation?
हाँ, ये आपकी पीपीटी है?
हाँ sir.
Okay, you can start.
Okay. Namaskar and a very good morning to all the JGTU faculties, all dignitaries and scholars present here in the online international multidisciplinary conference on opportunities and challenges of the exciting trends of virtual education, organized by JGTU University for 3 days from 27th to 29th November 2020. Today I'll be presenting and giving a presentation. As I heard, sir, I think next time I'll keep this in mind, that you have to pertain your topic given to the conference, somewhere relating to the conference. But as I've already prepared this topic, I'll do the presentation this time, and next time I'll keep it in mind, sir.
Okay.
The topic is Ayodhya Ram Temple, an emerging iconic destination on global religious tourism. My name is Shona Bloda Aswani. I am a researcher and scholar with management with JGTU University. So I'll start now. The objectives of this paper was to evaluate how the impact of construction of new Ram Mandir affects regional and local prosperity, to examine how the development of Ram Mandir will make Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi more sought after religious tourist destination of the millennium. Hypothesis I have taken is the positive impact of new Ram Mandir on economic opportunities for local and the regions of Ayodhya. The development of Ram Mandir is on threshold to make Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi the most sought after religious destination of the millennium. As we all know, Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, laid foundation stone for iconic Ram Mandir at Ram Janmabhoomi, Ayodhya on 5th of August 2020 amid this COVID pandemic. Shri Yogi Adityanath, Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, in the same inauguration ceremony, retaliated to restore Ayodhya's lost glory and sanctioned 2,000 crores for development of Ayodhya and the surrounding areas. Ram Temple construction is estimated to be completed by 2024. Lord Ram International Airport is also inaugurated, which will be scheduled to be operational in the first phase by 2021 under RCS, that is Regional Connectivity Scheme, in the UDAN initiative by the Ministry of Civil Aviation, India. Government of India and State Government of Uttar Pradesh had undertaken major infrastructure development to make Ayodhya a spiritual, religious, heritage tourism destination. The methodology used was primary data collection by the interview method. Due to COVID, the structured digital interviews of the respective department officials, PROs of Uttar Pradesh Tourism Department was taken online through the digital media. And to substantiate the primary data by real-time data collection, secondary data collection was also used from Ministry of Civil Aviation, newspapers, published articles, publications, Ram Janmabhoomi Tirth Kshetra Trust website, digital administration of Ayodhya, and the scholarly published articles, of course. In the paper, we have focused on the construction of iconic Sri Ram Temple in Ayodhya, the erection of 221 meters of Sri Ram Lala statue adjacent to it, then the regional development infrastructure which will be developed around the area to support the same thing, the IT infrastructure which is being taken care of in terms of online marketing, digital marketing, virtual marketing. All these areas also have to be focused, which are also taken into consideration for the same. The international connectivity, which is very important, which is taken care by the airport, which is of international airport, and all the standards of the international airports will be taken care of in the same. Ayodhya, a heady mix of sacred scape, that is Tirtha Bhumi, faith scape, which is religious, ritual scape, which is Tirtha rituals, and the economic transformation of the region that is going to happen in the following time once these things are ready. Now in this, what we are focusing is an analytical study on Ayodhya Ram Temple, which is an emerging iconic destination on global religious tourism. There's a lot to say, but it was very categorically mentioned in the pamphlet for the tourism, for the international conference, which was conducted, that it has to be contained in 5 to 10 minutes. So I have not gone into much details. I'll curtail that. And now after the paper, when the completion has happened, there were few key areas and recommendations which we could have put in through, which could be helpful when they are still considering lots of inputs from the public and the scholars around India. So the key areas which can be addressed subsequently with the development would be, in the future, the decreasing water level index, the atmospheric pollution, which might, if not controlled, would be a major problem. The excessive modernization threatening the carrying capacity of a destination. A destination can, with its natural resources, can only carry an X amount of people. So that has to be very well taken in focus for the future development. So I have another 2 minutes. focus on reducing the carbon footprint, looking at alternate energy generations like solar power, wind power, and all, because there'll be lots of development which will need lots of power to fully functionally all the time working. Modern healthcare facilities for the locals, for the tourists coming domestically and internationally, everyone, healthcare facilities have to be taken into consideration, because it is a major issue in lots of tourism which happens domestically in India. Safety and security of the tourist, especially with today's MICE tourism happening with lots of women coming in. The safety and security is a very important point. If we take care of it, it makes a lot of difference. Human resource management with job portals. During this COVID pandemic, there was a huge labor which lost its job, and under Manrega, there was a lot of registrations which happened during this time. So this manual labor, which can be utilized by the government of Uttar Pradesh in creating this infrastructure, and a job portal can be opened which can help the lowest line of labor, and it can improve their economic status along with the status of the region, which is Ayodhya. Training and skilled manpower is very important, because tourism is now a very skilled industry. It is an industry.
Please conclude.
Yes, it's almost finished, sir. And attracting private investments through routes of public-private participation, of course. Just one more minute, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Sir, should I share, sir? Jyoti Tiwari here. I'm ready, sir.
Just give me 30 seconds. Just let me conclude.
Okay.
By announcing construction of iconic Sri Ram temple at Ayodhya, the nation will witness creation of history at Ayodhya. The entire region of Ayodhya is witnessing massive infrastructure push, and host of facilities are elaborately planned by the state of Uttar Pradesh, aligned with the policies of the central government. Economic growth trajectory will bring in windfall of fortunes for all the stakeholders. That will include local traders, tour operators, tourist operators, skilled and unskilled manpower, street food and beverage vendors, hotel, airlines, and governments. All around infrastructure, development of highways, roads, restaurants, and tourism spots around Ayodhya, multifold employment opportunities, increasing prosperity in the region, and scaling of current socio-economic segments rapidly. Foreign exchange earnings, very important, increased taxation, positive contribution to the GDP of the state, all will get a major push. So thank you so much for giving this time to present. I'm done, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Sir, please allow me.
Who are you?
Sir,
please allow me, Jyoti Tiwari.
हाँ, ज्योति तिवारी. आपके अगर पहले पीपीटी लगाओ, पीपीटी अगर है आपकी.
जी सर है मेरा पीपीटी.
ठीक है, ज्योति तिवारी, प्लीज.
जी सर.
After this, can I do the
सर आपने
presentation?
शेयर कर दिया सर, किसी और ने शेयर कर दिया.
I present, sir.
आपने शेयर क्यों कर दिया सर? सर ने मुझे अलाउ किया.
ज्योति तिवारी, प्लीज आप प्रेजेंट करें. और
उन्होंने शेयर कर दिया स्क्रीन.
हाँ, एक मिनट रुक जाइए. अगर किसी और दूसरे ने पीपीटी शेयर की है ना, प्लीज आप आपकी पीपीटी हटा लीजिए.
ओके सर, किसने हटा? प्रेम पाल सर ने.
अरे ठीक, कोई बात नहीं, वो हटा देंगे.
ओके सर.
मुझे अलाउ कीजिए.
सर आफ्टर दैट मी.
हाँ, 1 second.
You can share, madam. You can share, madam. After that, I'll start.
हाँ, ज्योति तिवारी, आप.
जी सर.
आप आपकी पीपीटी लगाइए.
जी सर.
Sir, after that,
I'm visible, sir. Screen is visible, sir.
Yes, now. Okay.
Good afternoon, all of you. I am Jyoti Tiwari, Assistant Professor in Sri Ram Engineering College and Research Scholar as a Mathematics in JJTU. My registration number 2849016. Today's my paper topic is point control of the curve using rational quadratic spline. Abstract. Sir, board disturbing there. The rational quadratic spline has unique for each which belong to C2 continuity. We have to obtain existence, uniqueness, and convergence properties for quadratic spline. We have to prove bounded property later we generate the interpolation curves for value control using rational quadratic spline. We give the condition on the possible choices of P at 2 is equals to K might be the rational quadratic spline for the local control interpolation gives satisfactory results. Keywords are shape preserving, rational, linear, quadratic spline, parameter, continuity, and interpolation. Now, introduction. Spline functions are used such as cubic, quartic, and quintic spline. In spline function, we have to find existence, uniqueness, and error bonds, but did not find shape of any curve and design. This requirement is fulfilled by rational spline, which is useful in CAGD, that is computer-aided geometrical design. That is in cubic or quartic spline, user cannot change shape of the given curve. The rational spline can change shape or curve by given data. Also, simple spline do not satisfy positivity, convexity, and monotonicity properties. These properties satisfy rational quadratic spline, which is my topic, which are useful to change the shape given spline curve. But and Borley one has used rational cubic spline for positivity preserving by added extra knots. Now, Karim has proposed the new spline based from cubic spline function with continuity. So researcher refer rational spline composition to cubic spline, that is simple spline. For example, Wong and Tan 7 have proposed new rational quadratic spline with two parameters for monotonicity, preserving interpolation for various aspects. See 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 9 references. These papers are summarized as follows. The point one is for point control, the rational quadratic spline, quadratic or linear, is used. See references at 10 and 11. Second point, extra thing is that the range value of K such that P to the power R is equals to K. Third point is the work of Tan et al. 5 comparison to rational quadratic of this paper method has been done. An algorithm for computer implementation is given below also. Second, rational quadratic spline with one shape parameter. In this section, we proposed rational quadratic spline interpolation, that is quadratic, will be discussed in detail. Wong and Tan 7 described rational quadratic spline have two shape parameter and we have to construct rational quadratic spline with one shape parameter, that is quadratic or linear. Assume that Ti, Fi, Di, where I goes to 0 to n is the set of data points where T is less than 0, less than 1, T2 up to Tn. Let Hi is equals to Hi plus 1 minus Hi. These are the calculation which is given below. Next, these are the summarized properties. Next, the third property remark, it should be noted that alpha I is equals to 1. The rational interpolant equation number 3 reduced to the standard quadratic spline. Okay. The third point, the bounded property of the rational quadratic spline. Consider the interpolation in a subinterval, closed interval Ti, Ti minus plus 1, where I goes to 0 to n minus 1. This is the equation number 5, and the some properties are given below. The theorem 1. The summarized in theorem 1, let P at T be a interpolating function defined in 1, whatever the positive values, the shape parameter alpha I might be the value of the interpolating function P at T in the closed interval Ti, Ti plus 1, where I goes to 0 to n minus 2. Satisfied the bounded property mod of P at T is less than is equals to m plus 1 by 8 at D. That is the equation number 8. This is the proof of this equation. Next slide.
अगर कोई एक बात कर रहा है, पेपर प्रेजेंट कर रहा है, तो बाकी लोग कम से कम आप शांत तो रहे.
My next slide is
बोलना पड़ता है. You people are highly educated people.
My next slide is value.
अब जो भी था जल्दी करो।
Okay, value curve of the rational quadratic is interpolation. The interpolation curves are interpolation data gives different shape of curve by changing values of interpolation data. Also, find shape of curve can be changed by value change of alpha I without changing the value of interpolation data. Some Duan and Bio references are 10, 9, and 4 have invited the ideas on point value control by using rational cubic spline. In this section, the rational quadratic spline from section will be used for point value control interpolating curves. We can also obtain practical design require the value of the implementation function P at T defined in equation 1 at the point T star, where theta star be its local coordinator to be equal to real number, that is P at T star is equals to K, where N is between the F and Fi plus 1. What parameter values alpha I that will ensure the resulting interpolating function will be satisfied the local control requirement. This is the equation 11, 12, and 13, which is summarized, and the theorem 2 for the given interpolation data and the interpolation function P at T defined by equation 1 for each closed interval Ti, Ti plus 1, where I goes to 0, 1, 2, up to n. There is the table which is summarized by a graph and the point of value of T at Fi and Di. We will find the missing value at T is equals to 1 by 2 of Di. This is shown here. Conclusion. The existence, uniqueness, and convergence has investigated for rational quadratic spline. The rational quadratic spline with one parameter has been used for point control interpolation. Also, the sufficient condition for existence of positive parameter AI that satisfies value control equation have been derived. Numerical results shown that the rational quadratic spline can locally control the point value interpolating curves comparison with the work of Pan et al. 12. The point control interpolating using the rational quadratic spline given better results and design. Thank you. I would like to special thank you the member of Government Engineering College Kundam, and especially thank you JJ2 University to provide me the special platform for me. Thank you very much.
Sir, Shailesh Borkar.
Thank you,
Can I
sir.
present?
Sir, Shailesh Borkar.
just a minute.
Sir Sridhar.
just a minute. मुझे पहले बात करने दो. डॉक्टर स्वाति आप है क्या मैडम? डॉक्टर स्वाति मैडम.
Thank you.
हेलो डॉक्टर स्वाति मैडम.
हाँ बोलिए सर.
हाँ, ये दरअसल कोई किसी का मुझे आवाज आ रही है, वो उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि ये डिस्टर्ब कर रही है, तो उनको प्लीज या तो रिमूव करिए या तो उनको म्यूट कर लीजिए. अभी किसकी पीपीटी मेरे सामने किसकी पीपीटी है? ये पीपीटी किसकी है? प्रेमपाल.
Sir, please could you allot me some time in the evening? I've been waiting since yesterday.
प्रेमपाल जी, आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर बताइए. हाँ, फिर भी अभी ये देखो फिर से डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है. इतना करेंगे आपकी आवाज बंद करो.
पेपर जब पब्लिश होगा तो ट्रांसलेट जाएगा, लेकिन यहाँ पेपर पढ़ने के लिए कॉन्फ्रेंस में अपन को पीडीएफ पीपीटी चलेगा.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल
थोड़ा रुक जाइए. प्रेमपाल जी आप रुक जाइए.
पीपीटी को फिर पीडीएफ कन्वर्ट. ओके, तो अपने मोबाइल में
डॉक्टर मधु मैम
तो कैसे किया था?
मधु मैम, डॉक्टर मधु मैम, रजिस्ट्रार मैम जी,
थोड़ी बार बीच पे कर
या डॉक्टर स्वाति देसाई, आप कोई भी अगर है तो प्लीज आप इनको जो कोई आवाज कर रहा है ना उनका आवाज म्यूट कर दीजिए या तो फिर उनको रिमूव कर दीजिए प्लीज. मेरे पास कंट्रोल होता मैं कब का रोक देता उनको. ओके प्रेमपाल जी आप स्टार्ट करिए.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. First of all, I like to thank to the JJ2 University who gave the opportunity. So today I am going to discuss the opportunity and the challenges of the exciting trends in visual education. Now the prediction for the virtual education. University won't survive. The future is outside the traditional classroom. 30 years of the campus will be relaxed by the Peter Druckson. Mass customized learning, people anywhere will be able to take the best courses taught by the greatest teacher. By the 2020, learning will be the mainstream and the classroom teaching will be supporting part. Knowledge based meeting. So we'll see the distance learning history. Formal 1890 with the correspondence courses, distance learner, Thomas Edison, Abe Lincoln, Henry Ford. Correspondence, audio link, fax, cassettes, TV, audio, and the Open University, and well as the new ICT media, moving from the distance learning to the e-learning. E-learning, the use of internet and technology to deliver and support the campus and learning to full e-learning adaptation percentage learning taken through the internet, hybrid learning 79%, and virtual learning of learning management system through the learning management system. Then learning towards e-learning, e-learning infrastructure, internet and interactive technology, continuous learning anywhere, anytime is now time college, distributed workshop, competitive pressures to integrate learn into the work processes, arrival of the workforces. Then the opportunity access, making training more valuable to cost, reducing training cost, supply, variety and high quality content, speed, efficiency, empowerment, convenience. And this e-learning system architecture is there: pupil, authoring systems, learner, interaction, and the should be happened through the learning management system. An obstacle in e-learning: human, organization, cultural resistance, infrastructure, technology-wise, we are facing bandwidth, interconnectivity, technology support, development cost. Then old paradigm, new e-learning bottles. One of the many teaching may not work. Different communication, social, culture challenge learning models. Some e-learning tool designed with the traditional teaching concept, blackboard use concept, and talk and talk method. And finally, fact. Slow consult organization for say Manu Virtual University, economics, largest capella, 20% student took at least 2009. Consideration of e-learning options. And JK is Open University, France, Italy, Hungary, Austria, and these are the nowadays Asian university are also promoting the e-learning. So thank you so much for the for listening.
Hello, sir. Can I present?
So can I present? I'm waiting since long.
सर मैंने आपको होस्ट बना दिया है, आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट करिए सर।
Yes.
हाँ सर, निकुम सर आपको होस्ट बना दिया है, तो आप अभी कंट्रोल कर सकेंगे, ठीक है?
ओके, थैंक यू मैम।
सर श्रीधर हूँ, प्लीज मुझे अलाउ कीजिए, 2 बार मिस हो चुका है मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन।
बिल्कुल सही है, लेकिन आपकी पीपीटी आप प्रेजेंट कर पाओगे क्या? आपकी
जी सर मैं कर रहा हूँ, मैं कर रहा हूँ सर। हाँ सर मैं शेयर कर रहा हूँ अभी।
हाँ यस।
Sir, is it visible?
Yes, it is visible now. Sridhar ji, your registration number please.
313 190 74, sir.
74. Okay. So you start your presentation.
Sir. Good afternoon to everyone, every research scholar and the respected panel of JJTU for giving me the opportunity to give my presentation. So the title of my presentation is Extract and Fractions of Barks of Begonia variegata could be potential antioxidants and anti-obesity agents. Sir, as you suggested in the earlier part, but since I could do this research with the help of online and virtual classes and guidance, so I think a little it would be relevant to this one. So I will continue with the introduction. So everyone knows the hyperlipidemia or dyslipidemia is a very challenging factor. So everyone, even you could see in the television ads also, everyone wants to be slim and everyone wants to be free of the cholesterol, because the cholesterol is a very threatening substance in the body, which can cause the severe diseases like the myocardial infarction, cardiovascular disorders, and ischemic cardiac diseases like that. And along with this, the oxygen free radical peroxidative or oxidative stress also can be fused on the human body. And there are plenty of drugs available to treat the hyperlipidemia, like atorvastatins. The statins are very well used medicine since long, and bezofibrates, cholestyramine, but all of these are having, along with their effect, the side and adverse effects also, like the severe muscle pain or the abdominal pain like that, and skin rashes. And therefore, there is always a scope for safe and effective medicine. So the plant which I have selected, the Begonia variegata, is known as Kachnar in Hindi, and it is recommended in Ayurveda for the treatment of hyperlipidemia or the obesity. And obesity is directly connected with the hypercholesterol levels. So you can see the image of the Begonia variegata leaf along with the flower in this slide. And during my research, the collection and authentication of the plant material is essential part of the research. So the bark was collected in the month of April from the local area of Vijaypur. It is in the Karnataka state. And the plants were authenticated by Dr. Ramchandra Nayak, a qualified botanist and taxonomist of SB Arts College and KCP Science College, Vijaypur. And the herbarium has been prepared, and the code is PCGM01, which is the authentication certificate. Then the plant bark was collected and it was extracted by using the defatted format. The petroleum ether was taken for the extraction, and after that the ethanol, and after that the simple water. So the three extracts were prepared and the phytochemical investigation of those extracts was done. And the flavonoid fractionation was done by using the ethanol crude extract, and the procedure as per the pharmacopoeial requirement was followed, and the N-butanol and ethyl acetate mixture was taken, and it was well mixed with the 15 gram of crude extract of the Begonia variegata, and the butanol fraction was containing the flavonoids. Similarly, the saponin fraction was taken out, and the 5 gram of crude extract powder was added in the round bottom flask with the petroleum ether. It was refluxed for 1 hour and cooled, and the thick extract retained after removal of petroleum ether was mixed with the 25 ml of chloroform, and again it was refluxed. And after removing the solvent, a thick extract along with the 25 ml of ethyl acetate was again refluxed, and after that the solvent was dissolved in 25 ml of 90% of methanol, and the filter was collected. The filtrate was cooled and concentrated to 5 ml. Then to this filtrate, 25 ml of diethyl ether was added with the constant stirring, and the saponins were precipitated. A long process of taking out the saponins. Why the saponins and flavonoids were taken out? Because the saponins and flavonoids are the phytoconstituents which are proven to be the hypolipidemics and the antioxidants which are most effective and safe. And if you observe this slide, the phytochemical investigation of Begonia variegata has been shown, and the color, size, taste, and the solubility and their values like extractive values, the ash values were as per the requirements of the pharmacopoeial descriptions. And the phytochemical investigation showed the aqueous ethanolic and petroleum ether extracts. The petroleum ether extract was having only the fats and oils and the steroids, whereas the aqueous and ethanolic extract was having the saponins, tannins, and the flavonoids. And therefore, the flavonoid and saponin fractions were taken. So coming to the discussion part, the several literatures reveal that the flavonoids have been reported to reduce the TC, means the total cholesterol.
Conclude.
Sir. So the conclusion would be the extracts of Bohunia variegata and their fractions will be a very good antioxidant and lipid lowering agent. However, a detailed animal study is required to get the information about the most effective extract and the effect of fraction, by which the animal study will be the future scope of this present study. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Okay,
thank you, sir.
So next, कौन करना
Sir,
चाहेगा?
Shailesh Borkar, sir.
Borkar.
Yes, sir.
So can you present your? Can you show your PPT?
Yes, if he takes his PPT off, sir.
हाँ, one minute. श्रीधर जी, आपकी PPT हटा लीजिए.
Just
please remove your PPT.
I'm taking it out. Sir, मैंने हटा दिया PPT.
Yes, okay.
Sir, can you see my PPT?
No, not yet.
Sir,
This one?
अब आप शेयर कर सकते हैं.
So is this visible?
Yes, Shailesh, na? CA Shailesh.
Yes, sir. Is this visible, sir?
Yes.
PDF.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, this is Deepa. Can I present the next, please?
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon. My respects to my peers and warm regards to my colleagues. My topic is Islamic banking, a window to CSR. That is corporate.
Shailesh,
Yes,
where is your PPT?
So you can't see, it's a PDF file. It's not visible?
No.
This one, sir?
No, not at all.
Then, sir, please continue with someone else because I don't know why it's not visible.
Okay, so Deepa, are you ready? Deepa, can you present your paper? Anyway, next. Shailesh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible now.
Okay. So, yeah, my topic is Islamic banking, a window to corporate social responsibility. It's a bit different. So my registration number is 4410101. My respects to my peers and a warm regards for my colleagues. This is a purely financial presentation, nothing to do with religion. Islamic banking follows Sharia law, which has many tenets, and it believes in Imam and Qadr. And the main thing is the concept of jihad, which is the most misunderstood one among them all. Jihad actually means working for a noble cause throughout your life. Now, Islamic banking funds projects which get into productive activities only, that is manufacturing, to create jobs and other economic necessities. And it also promotes entrepreneurship. That is why it promotes trade and commerce and an overall societal development. We will see later on how. It puts a total ban on funding anything that creates income without risk, and it does not allow unproductive activities. That is why earning interest is not allowed. Riba is interest, which is totally disallowed when it comes to Islamic banks. And they simply prohibit speculation and gambling. These things should be adopted by the Indian banking system gradually. Now, some concepts on which they work are Mudharba, Wadia, Musharka, etc. I'll take one example. Suppose I have to take funds from an Islamic bank for buying a car of 3 lakh rupees, the bank will not give me 3 lakh rupees. It will purchase the car directly for 3 lakhs, add an element of profit, say 1 lakh, and sell the car to me for 4 lakh rupees. And I have to repay it in installments. So there is no question of interest. Some see it as a circumvention of the concept of interest, but this is the way it goes. Profit is allowed. And the last one, Musharka Al Mutankisa, works for home loans on a similar basis where there is profit sharing. That is why Islamic banking funds those concepts which are into society improvement. So it's nothing but social banking which ensures sustainability of the economy and works for helping the poor. Now, this concept is accepted the world over. There are many Islamic banks throughout the Western world. A measure, the Islamic banking corporate assets, the banking assets measure up to 1.72 trillion way back in 2013. It doesn't take much of a guess to understand it will be twice as much now. 78% of these assets belong to these 6 countries. Okay, they work for it and they are working massively. We can see that many educational institutions in these areas are doing exceptionally well. When it comes to India, the parliament has not yet accepted it because the tenets of Islamic banking go against the Banking Companies Act and the RBI Act. However, there have been many deliberations throughout India in various conferences, and even the earlier RBI governor, Mr. Raghuram Rajan, has advocated the usage of all these concepts of Islamic banking. In fact, the High Court of Kerala has sanctioned some use of Islamic banking tenets even in the regular banking system. But yet, of course, legally it's not yet approved. The audit institutions of various Islamic banks have now actually put in guidelines on CSR so that every bank, every Islamic bank works towards society and nothing else. No private gain is to be considered. So these are certain things, the basis on which every Islamic bank works, responsible dealing with clients, especially employee welfare. And as we can see, the 5th point says social development and environment-based investment quotas carry a lot of importance and customer service. That being the case, and of course, the second last one says charitable activities. So they give a lot of stress on what is required today by society, that is some empathy and a lot of sympathy for everyone. And that is why if the Indian banking system adopts, if not Islamic banking, then some of its concepts, then not only can this touch the education system, but all the aspects of economy. In conclusion, I would say Islamic banking is actually corporate social responsibility put into practice. We only talk about it, we allocate 2% of the corporate profits to this, but this is actually in practice the world over. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. So thank you, Shailesh Borkar ji.
Thank you, sir.
Next, who want to present her paper? Dr. Deepa. I think Deepa want to present paper. Is she available?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Deepa, show your PPT.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right, sir. Sir, I think I'm facing a problem in sharing my screen. Can I present the next if somebody else is ready?
If somebody else is ready, then he can show PPT. Who want to present another? Anyone wish to present his paper?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, who are you?
Myself, Kubra, sir.
Saida.
Yes, sir. Sayyida Zainab Kubra.
So Saida, please show your PPT.
Yes, sir. Sharing this. My registration number is
Yes.
2792
2792
00
00
77.
77. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I'm sharing the screen. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes. My study is on a review of intrathecal of fluticasone versus formoterol in the treatment of asthma. Abstract: I have conducted a study on 30 patients whom I have given a combination of LABA and corticosteroids. LABA is long-acting beta agonist. That is, fluticasone is one corticosteroid. Fluticasone and formoterol combination has proven effects on asthma, treating asthma. Okay, as per the standard guidelines, gold guidelines, it states that if the patients are treated with fluticasone and formoterol combinations, then asthma, their FEV1 values and PEFR values improve. Okay, what my objective was to measure the improvement in pulmonary function test, that is FEV1, forced expiratory volume, and pulmonary expiratory force rate, peak expiratory flow rate. And the methods I have used is prospective. It was a prospective observational study carried out for 6 months. I have collected the patient data, and then I have asked them to do a spirometry test, which revealed their FEV1 values as well as PEFR values. My conclusion was, by using this combination, FF, when compared to the other marketed products such as SF, salbutamol combinations, this FF combination has proven effects on FEV1. FEV1 value was observed to be reduced. Asthma, what is asthma? Is nothing but a chronic inflammatory disorder of airways, which occurs due to increase in inflammatory cells such as eosinophils, mast cells, macrophages, and interleukins. And majorly, neutrophils play an important role. Classification, if I want to classify asthma, it is classified basically on 4 categories, that is intermittent, mild, moderate, and severe asthma. So first is intermittent asthma. Asthma, it is considered as intermittent. Why? Because the symptoms occur only a fewer than 2 days a week, such as difficulty in breathing, wheezing, and chest tightness. And the patient experience in the lung function test, the spirometry and PEFR values will be normal, but PEFR will be less than 20%. In mild persistent asthma, symptoms will be, it will not occur more than 2 days, and the results are PEFR will be in the range of 20 to 30%. In severe asthma, PEF, that is peak expiratory flow rate, it exceeds to the normal value of 30%. And in moderate, PEF value will be 30% from morning to afternoon, and it is usually expected to be 60% to 80%. And this is the pathogenesis, triggering factors such as allergies, which will cause airway inflammation and further hypersecretion of mucus, airway constriction, bronchial membranes, and symptoms such as wheezing cough is observed. Pathogenesis of asthma includes activation of and inflammatory cells such as interleukins and T lymphocytes, which will cause asthma symptoms such as bronchial hyperresponsiveness and airway obstruction. Medications given for first-line treatment for asthma is controllers and relievers. In controllers, corticosteroids are used, which reduces the inflammation of the bronchial cells. And second is relievers. Relievers such as inhalators such as SABA, that is short-acting beta agonist, anticholinergics, and corticosteroids. What is the need for doing study on asthma care? Thing is, increased prevalence of asthma is seen among children as well as in adolescents. So there is a high health-related cost of uncontrolled asthma. So that's why it enlisted me to choose this topic on asthma, so that this combination of fluticasone versus formoterol proves to be beneficial for the patients treated with asthma. I've done several literature reviews which showed that there is a promising role of combination of corticosteroids as well as LABA, that is ICS and LABA, fluticasone versus formoterol. The study carried out saying single inhaler combination therapy will be effective, and also it is cost effective. This was my literature review, and my plan of work was to do the first step is to do literature review, then design the data collection form, then identify the patients from moderate to severe based on the symptoms and PFT criteria. Then ACT test was done, asthma control test, and patient counseling. Inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria have included patients less than 80 years of age, more than 18 years of age, and with comorbidities such as hypertension and diabetes. Exclusion criteria, I have excluded the patient pregnant and lactating women, and also patients suffering from TB or pneumonitis. Results, based on the 30 patients, male 14% were observed to be males and 16% were females treated with FF combination, that is fluticasone and formoterol. Age, highest population age 20 to 39 years. And FEV1 value, when it comes to the FEV1 values, it was decreased by using this. Normally 70%, 70 to 80%. So by using FF combination, FEV1 value improved. This is the flow chart. The number of patients is 30, and the FEV1 values in expressed in percentages.
Okay, conclude, Saida. Conclude.
My conclusion is the above results. By seeing the above results of FEV1 and PEFR, it showed that the FF combination has a significant change in PFT. So with that, we can say that this combination is effective, efficacious in asthma patients. And I have asked the patients to do ACT test, which says score. If the patient is getting score 25, it means the asthma is reduced. Well done. If it is 20 to 24, it is on target. That is reasonably it is controlled. If it is 22 or less than 20, then it is it results says that asthma is not controlled. So this was the questionnaire format I have given them and asked this for assessing quality of life of asthma.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The paper was good. Research was also good. Next.
Sir, present.
Yes.
Sir, ready?
Deepa.
Ji, sir.
Okay. So first, put your PPT on the screen.
Right, sir.
Well, you have to remove the other participant who shares.
Oh, yes.
After I present, sir, Preeti Goyal.
This is Preeti Goyal's PPT. Hello.
Sir, is my screen visible?
It is Deepa Bax, no?
Right, sir.
So present your paper.
Thank you, sir. F5. Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon to all the dignitaries, JJTU faculty, and all my scholar colleagues. Here I'm to present my paper in the online international multidisciplinary conference, and I would like to apologize to sir in advance as you have guided us. The topic should be related to the theme of the conference. I will be taking care in advance the next time, but because today I have prepared, so I'll be presenting what I have done.
Okay, all right.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir, for allowing me. My name is Mrs. Deepa Vats, and I'm PhD nursing scholar at JJTU. My registration number is 24520037. So I'm going to present the paper on a research study done by me on prevention of cervical cancer. The study was done among the staff nurses who are working in the cancer hospital. So coming to the introduction, the cervix is the lower part of the uterus that connects the uterus to the vagina. Cervical cancer occurs when cells in the cervix grow erratically, means they are out of control and multiply out of control. So there are two categories of cells. One is precancerous and cancerous cells. Both of them develop in the cervix, and they can be detected with the help of a pap smear test, which is used to examine cells from the cervix and the vagina. So sometimes, you know, what happens, the precancerous cells, they themselves get cured without converting into the cancerous cells, but some of them are not very lucky. So cervical cancer is completely a preventable disease, but only obstacle is the lack of awareness and lack of facilities, which I have encountered in some of my known to and also my relatives. Certain deaths had taken place. So this was the reason behind my motivation to conduct this study. So the statement of the problem, which was designed by me, was it was a study to assess the effectiveness of structured teaching program on knowledge of cervical cancer and its prevention among staff nurses working in a selected cancer hospital located at Delhi. The objectives of the study were: the first objective was to assess the level of knowledge of cervical cancer and its prevention among staff nurses working at cancer hospital before the administration of structured teaching program. The second objective was to evaluate the effectiveness of structured teaching program on cervical cancer and its prevention. The third objective was to find out the association between knowledge of cervical cancer, its prevention, and selected demographic variables. The hypothesis which was preset was H1. H1, there is a significant difference in the effectiveness of structured teaching program of cervical cancer and its prevention among staff nurses at the level of 0.05 level of significance. So the assumptions and delimitations, the assumptions that were preset by me before the research study were: the first assumption was the staff nurses may have certain knowledge regarding cervical cancer and its prevention can be measured by structured knowledge questionnaire, because being a nurse, they had studied a subject called gynecology and medical surgical nursing, in which I expected them to learn this topic about. So the second assumption was staff nurses must have had PAP test and cervical cancer prevention vaccination as well. Along with that, the delimitations, there were two delimitations. First was staff nurses available at the time of data collection. Second was staff nurses working at the cancer hospital. So when we look at the operational definitions which were taken in consideration by me were the knowledge. The knowledge, it is the appropriate response received from the staff nurses to the items, means the questions regarding the cervical cancer, which were designed by me. Second was cervical cancer. The patient admitted to get treatment for cervical cancer at selected research setup, which is the cancer hospital. The third one was the effectiveness. It is a significant gain in the knowledge as determined by the pre-test and post-test scores on cervical cancer among staff nurses working at selected cancer hospital. The fourth operational definition was structured teaching program. It is systematically organized series of the teaching content on cervical cancer and prevention for staff nurses. Now coming to the materials and methods that were used by me during the study. The first approach, the research design was one group pre-test, post-test experimental design. Sampling technique was purposive sampling technique. The sample size was 30 staff nurses, and the population staff nurses working at Action Cancer Hospital. Looking at the variables under study, there were two variables, independent and dependent variable, whereas the independent variable was a structured teaching program on cervical cancer and its prevention, and the dependent variable was knowledge on cancer prevention and its knowledge on cervical cancer and its prevention. The research study was Action Cancer Hospital located at Delhi, which was the most renowned and rewarded North India hospital in the cancer treatment. So the criteria for the selection of setting was the familiarity with the setting and also the availability of the subjects. So the description of the tool was divided into two parts. Section 1, socio-demographic variables. I forgot to delete the part age. So it has certain criteria which I'll be elaborating later on. Section 2, structured questionnaire to assess the knowledge on cervical cancer, which had 3 classifications, whereas range score 0 to 5 represented the nurses had poor level of knowledge. The range of score 6 to 10 represents the average knowledge, and the range of score 11 to 15 represented that they had good knowledge about cervical cancer and its prevention. So now coming for the tool for data collection. The tool for data collection was designed in collaboration with the head of department Gynae Oncology, Dr. Shruti Bhatia, and head of department Medical Oncology, Dr. J.B. Sharma, Chief of Nursing and Nursing Superintendents. So the reliability of tool, it was calculated by the KR20 formula and it was found to be reliable. So now coming to the analysis and interpretation of the data, it was done in 4 sections, whereas section 1 represented description of the sample characteristics. Section 2 represented association between pre-test knowledge scores with selected demographic variables. Section 3 represented comparison of pre-test and post-test knowledge score, and section 4 represented findings related to evaluate of effectiveness of structured teaching program. So this is the result that has come out. Section 1 was socio-demographic characteristics. So here we can see that this table 1 reveals that out of all 30, means there were 30 nurses who were under the study as during the research. So we can see all 30 nurses, which means 100% of the nurses were from the age group more than 22 years, and majority of them, which means 23, like 76.6% were unmarried, whereas only 7 in number, which makes 23.3% nurses were married. Most of the nurses, which is 18, which makes 60%, were living with a nuclear family, and only 12%, which makes 40% nurses were living with the joint family. And none of them, like 0%, had cervical cancer history at family, and also none of them had ever done a pap smear. So now, looking at the section 2 analysis, it is association between knowledge score and selected demographic variables, where n was 30 and the level of significance was p was 0.05 level. The chi-square value obtained to seek association between knowledge scores and selected demographic variables showed that there is a significant relationship between age, marital status, and family history of cervical cancer, and there is no significant relationship between the type of family and whether they had done a pap smear or not. So section 3, which represented comparison of pre-test and post-test knowledge scores. Okay, sir. Sure, sir. It depicted that in above table with the pre-test score that the majority of the nurses had poor score, which means 40% of the nurses had poor score, 33.3 had average score, and only 6.6% nurses had good knowledge score about cervical cancer prevention and its prevention, while the post-test score show the knowledge level has improved after structured teaching program. The majority of the nurses had attained 63.3 has a good score and 36.6 as average score, and no nurses had a poor score. So now this bar graph, which is showing the difference in the knowledge. So red is the pre-test and purple is the post-test, we can see here. So there is a significant difference we can see here in all the graphs. Section 4, data in this table presents that the pre-test mean score was 7.36, which was increased in the post-test, which became 11.36, and the mean difference came to be 4.3. The t-value was 2.9 and degree of freedom 29, which was more than the table value 2.04, which indicated that there was a significant difference in the pre-test and post-test score after administration of the structured teaching program, which indicates the hypothesis H1 is correct and it is accepted. So we can see here the pre-test and post-test mean score. The post-test is, of course, it is increased after the administration of the teaching program. So the conclusion of the study is the present study attempted to find out the efficacy of structured teaching program on staff nurses about cervical cancer and its prevention. There were 30 nurses were taken as a sample. The self-structured questionnaire was used to assess their level of knowledge, and the pre-test was done. After that, the teaching was done, and after teaching, the post-test was conducted after 5 days. The results suggested there was a significant improvement in the knowledge score after the teaching program was administered. So the implication and recommendation given by me for the study was in the nursing practice. My implication and recommendations are the nurses should be teaching the patient, attendant, and other general public about cervical cancer and its prevention, and all the nurses should get pap smear done, and also they should take cervical cancer vaccination as soon as possible. In nursing education, the nurses should there should be special training on the cervical cancer to reduce its risk. In the nursing administration, education should be provided, and also the about the prevention and vaccination at the time of joining to the nurses. We can involve the gynae oncology doctors for the prevention of cervical cancer to educate the nurses. In the nursing research, the recommendation was to conduct the similar study on knowledge of cervical cancer and its prevention on a larger scale, and also an information booklet can be distributed to enhance that knowledge. At community level, community nurses must educate, empower, and teach both high-risk and low-risk women in the community. These were the references. Thank you so much for the patience listening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, please
Thank you,
allow
sir.
me.
So I can allow only one person, only one scholar to present paper. And then after we will take lunch break. So if anybody is ready, please present.
Preeti Goyal.
Preeti Goyal. Show your PPT, please. Preeti Goyal. Preeti, are you able to put your
Yes,
PPT
sir.
on the screen, please? Show your PPT.
Sir, is it visible?
No, not visible.
Sir, can I present? I am not able to visible my PPT.
Oh yes, but it should be within a 5 minutes only.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, yes. What is your name?
Myself, Preeti Goyal. My registration, Preeti Goyal.
Registration number?
My registration number is 2971
297
71 8026.
Pardon. Please repeat.
2971 8026.
26. Okay. You proceed.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Sir, today my research topic is impact of working capital management on liquidity and profitability, a case study of Jindal Stainless Limited. Again, I want to sorry, sir, but this is my research topic. I am research
Yes, I
scholar
know. Continue, please.
from Sri JJT University under the guidance of Dr. Neeraj Basotia. My research topic is impact of working capital management on liquidity and profitability. This paper examines the impact of working capital management on liquidity and profitability in Jindal Stainless Limited during the study period of 7 years from 2012-13 to 2018-19 on the basis of secondary data collected from the annual reports of the selected unit. Keywords used in this study is liquidity, profitability, working capital, current assets, current ratio, liquid ratio, and return on assets. Working capital management is an essential part of overall management in every business firm. It is concerned with the problem that arise in attempting to manage the current assets, current liabilities, and the interrelationship that exists between them. The objective of this study is to analyze the structure of working capital in Jindal Stainless Limited, to study the adequate liquidity and profitability in Jindal Stainless Limited, to study the managing and collecting the trade receivables, inventory management, management of cash resources efficiently and profitability or not in Jindal Stainless Limited. Hypotheses which are used is in Jindal Stainless Limited, working capital management is not found efficiently controlled and managed. And alternative hypothesis is that in Jindal Stainless Limited, working capital management is found efficiently controlled and managed. Statistical tools which are used is current ratio, liquid ratio, average collection period, inventory conversion period, cash conversion cycle, return on assets, Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation, and t-test for hypothesis. Current ratio indicates the commitment of firm to meet out its short-term obligations. It is express the relationship between current assets and current liabilities. In this paper, current ratio shows a fluctuating trend during the study period between 0.64 times to 1.31 times. Whenever ideal ratio as per accepted standard should be 2:1. This is show low liquidity. Quick ratio accepted varies between 0.32 times to 1.00 times and showing the fluctuating trend during the study period. Ideal quick ratio is 1:1, so this is also show the low liquidity. Average collection period, inventory conversion period, cash conversion cycle, current ratio and quick ratio are used as the dependent variable and return on assets is used as independent variable to establish the relationship between both variables to analyze the profitability and liquidity in the selected unit. For the purpose, we used the statistical tools Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation and t-test for testing the hypothesis for the study. Findings are Carl Pearson's correlation between inventory turnover ratio and return on assets is calculated 0.4209, which shows both independent and dependent variable are positively correlated with each other at moderate level. Correlation between independent variable trade receivable turnover ratio and dependent variable, which is return on assets, is computed as 0.5533, which shows both independent and dependent variables are positively correlated with each other at moderate level. Carl Pearson's between cash turnover ratio and return on assets is calculated as 0.3370, which shows both independent and dependent variable are positively correlated at moderate level. The relationship between inventory turnover ratio and trade receivable turnover ratio with return on assets as per T, it is found that the null hypothesis is rejected and Jindal Stainless Limited efficiently controlled and managed its inventory and trade receivables. But in cash management, null hypothesis is accepted, which we can say that Jindal Stainless Limited is not manage its cash properly. Overall, we can conclude that Jindal Stainless Limited is required to give more attention to manage its working capital to maintain its profitability and liquidity of the company. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Preeti Goyal. So as such, we have now completed first session. We are now closing it, and we will meet again on 2 p.m. So paper presenter Jyoti Tiwari, Manisha Saini, Nisha Pille, Sridhar, Pratibha, Jagdish, Pallavi, Shona, Suchita, Dr. Lakshmi, Prempal, Shailesh Borkar, Saida, Deepa, and Preeti. Thank you very much. You all presented your paper. So we will meet again.
Hello, sir. Hello,
yes,
sir.
Yes.
Nisha Pillai, sir. I think I have not given my registration number to you.
Nisha Pillai, just a minute. No, you are already. I have your
Okay, sir.
registration number. It is
Thank you.
267200075 na.
267-60075.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes, I have.
267-2007. Okay, sir. Thank you.
तो थैंक यू वेरी मच। आप लोग सभी 2 बजे फिर आ जाइए। 2 बजे तक अब हमारा लंच टाइम रहेगा। 2 बजे के बाद हम फिर से शुरू कर देंगे। उस वक्त नए स्पीकर आएंगे, उनका पहले गाइडेंस होगा, उसके बाद में फिर एक बार आपको पेपर प्रेजेंट करने का मौका मिल जाएगा। थैंक यू।